fill up the water bottle, okay, hydrate yourself, right? Hydrate yourself, most importantly, in this critical time. Okay. Right. All right. So yeah, without further ado, okay, let me minimize my TS software and I continue record. Yeah. Please bear with the sound.
Recording in progress.
All right. So this morning we create a project file, right? So in the desktop you will see, okay, in the desktop you will see. To the section. Yeah, I will send to you guys the recording after the training. Don't worry. By at the end of the day, maybe will be evening 6:30. Yeah, because I will need this Zoom to render the video first. Okay, only I will able to send to you all. Don't worry. All right. So for today's this morning we actually create a project file, right? If you notice in your desktop, okay, if you save your project file in your desktop, you will come along with a folder. Okay, you will come along with the folder with the same name. Okay, the only difference is there is a hyphen dash TAS. All right. So from here in this folder, if you see there is a main, and inside is actually the drawing that import into our TS software. Okay, so don't get shocked. Okay, you will have another folder with the same name with your project file. Okay, this is the file. This is the drawing that actually we split, right? And this is the original file. Okay, whatever file, original is DWG, and imported to our software it will become GAD. Okay, GAD. Okay, it's a GAD format of the file. Right. So from here, if you see, if you open it, okay, nicely, if you accidentally delete this folder, okay, accidentally delete, or some of your colleague may want you to send the file to her, okay, if you want to send the file, you have to zip together with the folder, okay. If not, let me, for example, if you see, I just remove maybe one naming, okay, with one alphabet missing, okay, and I open my project file. And I open my project file, you will see, you will get shocked that all the drawings in the drawing manager, it will gone. Right? So this is the thing, okay? Once you create a project, there will be a folder, same name with your project file. Okay, if you can see now, if I just remove one single wording, okay, one alphabet, it will be gone for the drawing manager. So you have to make sure, let's say I close off, I need to rename back, okay, the same name. I just put back the name, okay, it will be similar name. So the software, when it open, okay, it actually will trace the path of the folder, okay, and call back all the drawing that we imported and also the splitted drawing together. Right, sure. Where to look for the folder, right? Okay, it depends. If your project file, okay, we will have one project file, okay, we created with the same name this morning. Okay, if you created and saved in the desktop, the folder, it will be following with our project file. Okay, if you saved it in another, maybe another C or local D drive, it will go together with it. Okay, you will go together with it. So make sure you have seen both. Okay, you have seen both. Your project file name and also the folder with the same project file. Okay, if I open back, you will see my drawing manager is actually back again. Okay, I have my drawing inside my drawing manager. In fact, the software it will read through the folder with the same name again. If your project file saved in the desktop, your folder will come along with the desktop. If it's saved in, for example, in my document, okay, it will be located at my document as well. These two files. One is this our TS file, another one is our folder. Right? Okay, so this is the additional information for you. Okay, additional information for you, the function of the folder. Okay, let me just double click back on my ground floor, structural ground floor. Right, so this morning we actually model out the column by using auto identify function. Right? So once you already done the model, okay, as I mentioned this morning, from left to right, right, you already done the model, identify and draw, you view it in 3D, and now you want to calculate, let's see what is the quantity you can get. Right? So yeah, let me go back this quantity. Okay, this quantity you have calculate. Okay, every time when we want to view the quantity, the latest quantity after we model, we need to calculate. Okay, and I click on calculate. Okay, once you click on calculate, you will see floor list. Okay, currently what we model is actually in ground floor. Okay, normal in ground floor, I just click on ground floor and then I click on OK. Okay, I click on OK. Okay, it will have a calculation. It takes place, and then you click on OK. Right. So once you click on OK, you have few you can actually check for your quantity. Okay. Expression, quantity by category, and view quantity.
Recording in progress.
Column. Okay, I can select on the volume, the area. Okay, this is the function. We can view the quantity expression. Okay, so some of you in this quantity expression, there will be only, okay, this one, there will be only value. You don't have this description. Okay, how you can? Okay, if you can't select, right? All right. If you can't select, remember, you need to go back to the column. Okay, you need to open the column first. Okay, you click on the column, only you're able to select the column. All right. You need to back to your column element, only you're able to select the column. Right? Okay. So in this view expression, no problem. In this view expression, I want the quantity expression to have the description. How am I going to do that? Okay. You will see there is a more button. Okay, this button. If you click on this button, this drop, you have show expression description. Okay, you can just click on it, then it will be a description showing that the expression. Right? And also, if you want to see the deduction, if you have the intersection, you want to see the deduction, you can click on this 3D deduction. Okay, you will have this view 3D deduction drawing. Right? So this one, it will show you the original quantity, but this one column, it will all is the original quantity. Right? Later on, we will have intersection, we can view it properly. You can zoom in and you can see where is the intersection and where is the deduction later on if there is a BIM together. Okay. So from here, the view expression, you are able to see it. Okay, the view with 3D. Okay. May I know how to show the column label since we identify the label also disappear? Right. Okay. So if you want to see your column label, okay, you have to click on this pick layer. Okay, just click on this pick layer, it will be coming back. Okay, this pick layer, it will be coming back. Okay, right. So yeah, this is you click on this pick layer, it will be showing back your column label. Okay, no problem. Okay, so for this one, one further level down Molly, this pick layer is actually the layer from the drawings. Right? In fact, each of our entity, we also have the naming, right? will be similar to the label as well. Okay, where we can actually open it. Okay, in fact, okay, you will see from this draw tab, right, the last button. If you click this last button, okay, if you click on the last button, there will be a entity display setting. Okay, this is to show the entity, okay, or to hide it, and this is to show the name of it. Okay, the name is actually created in this element list, right? Either way, okay, just now this I mentioned to you, you can actually straight away press C, right, to hide it, or you can open this entity display setting. You can just untick or tick the column to show or hide it. Okay, and in the name, if you want, you can open also, you can open the column, okay, and you can see you will have duplication of the label for the entity name. Okay, the red color is the drawing layering, right? And then the white color is actually software generated, is our entity name in the list. Okay, entity name in the list. Okay. To reduce the confusion, normally I won't open the name. Okay, I just follow the drawing layerings punya the label. Okay, so I will only have this AutoCAD drawings layering label. Right. So remember, calculate it. Okay, and then you can view expression, or in this view quantity by category. Okay, click on this view quantity by category, and you need to select the range, which is selecting everything. Okay, select the whole project, and we click on OK. Right. So once you come to this view quantity by category, okay, currently what we only have column. Okay, we only have the column, and we will have what we call classification condition. Okay, currently at ground floor, in situ concrete C30, the total for curve and vertical in this volume. Okay, this is the quantity column. Okay, but I want to know each of the every column, what is the volume it actually brings to us in the project. How am I going to do that?
Cái đó là
Right.
nó
So from
giảm lại
here,
thì
we are actually
chủ
able
tư
to set
người
the
ta ngồi ta
classification
chốt lại
quantity.
giảm lại
Okay, let us
phần
click
cấu
on
kỳ
this
này
one.
á.
Once you click it,
Thì giờ
as you can
những
see,
cái hồ
all
sơ
these
nào mà có
attributes,
là mới xác nhận,
this
còn mấy cái nào
attribute
mà
is actually
nhà
this
thầu
column attribute.
nó làm
It's
rồi nhưng
actually
mà
this
chưa nghiệm
column,
thu là
the
có
whole
cái
element
thì
list
giờ có thành
attribute.
dịch cũng nhiều nên là người ta cũng
Right. So I want the
xác
name
nhận
to
cái
be
nào
shown.
đúng cái đó thôi chứ không có
Okay,
nằm
we
ngoài
need to say I need
phạm vi mà được
to
tư vấn giám sát.
blue tick on the name. Okay, I can just blue tick on the name, and then I can even move up.
Cái đơn giá đó là do nhà thầu mình trình tới trình lui á, nó trình
maybe after the floor.
đâu có gửi cho mình,
Okay, you can
gửi
click
qua
on.
chủ tư á,
Okay.
rồi xong chủ tư coi xong
Then you will
chủ tư
see
chốt xong rồi chủ tư
you will
gửi
have
cho mình.
this classification condition being set. Okay, after floor there will be the name of the column, the material, concrete, the entity type, either is it vertical or is it the curve one, and you will have each individual volume of it. Right, each individual volume. Let's say, for example, I'm at C10, right? I want to know my C10 volume, is it correct? I want to know where is my C10. We have also another function. This is what we call reversely check model. Okay, I can just click on the quantity cell, for example, C10. I want to know where is my C10. Okay, I can just click on this reversely check model. Okay, it will come to this C10 column for you to check, and you also know the location of this C10. Right, this is what we can use for reversely check model. After you done check, you just click on return. Right? So if all the elements you calculate, everything is correctly, you can just export to Excel for your further usage if you want. Right? You have a function, you can actually export to Excel. Okay, you can actually export to Excel. This is the function. Okay. So yeah, every time when we do the model, after we do the model, we need to
họ nói
calculate.
là cái báo giá
We
mà
can
họ
view the
làm với
expression on each of the
cái
single
đẳng cấp gì đó,
entities,
nhưng mà cái
and
báo
then
giá
we
thì
can
họ
check
lên
the
câu ra bao nhiêu đô
overall
thì mình sai vậy thôi,
quantities, okay,
mình chả đâu
of
biết
the
được đó.
elements.
Nó đúng hay
So
không mình
there
không
you
có
go.
tên.
Right?
Chủ đầu tư. Nhưng mà
Okay,
cái
so
giá mà cái đèn
that's it for the quantity. Right? So we're going to do, we focus on the next element, which is beam. Right? Which is beam. Okay? So everyone ready? Ready for the beam? Okay? So if you're ready for the beam, give me a message beam. Let me know. Let me know. All right, beam. Okay, okay, all right. So we already done for our column, right? Yes, again. Right. And just now we have one friend, okay, when he or she at the axis grid line, and he not able to select the entity, the column entity. Why? Right. This is actually to prevent, the software actually prevent you to wrongly select the entities. Okay. With this, if you have a few more elements later on, if you want, you are at axis grid line now. I want to select my column. I cannot select. I can actually open this cross element select. Okay, I open it, and then I'm able to select my column entity, even though I'm actually at my axis grid line. I'm actually at my axis grid line element. Okay, if I close it, then I might not be able to select it. Okay, I'm not able to select it anymore. Okay, you can play around with this cross element select. Okay, you can play around with this cross element select. Meaning to say, if you are at different element, currently at axis grid, I want to select, I'm only able to select my axis grid. Okay. If I want to select the column also, I need to open the cross element select, and I'm able to select column even though I'm at axis element. If I close it, I'm not able to select the column. I'm only able to select my axis. Okay, so this is also another function for you. Right, so very short, the next thing will be our beam. Right, similarly, we go back to our beam. Yeah, so we're going to use beam. Right, so for beam, you will see you will have beam in the beam element, and also in foundation we also have one beam, which is what we call ground beam. Okay, we have ground beam, and also we will have this beam at beam element. Okay, you will ask whether you want to use ground beam or normal frame beam. Okay, so for ground beam, it's actually at the ground level. For beam, the frame beam, okay, suspended beam, they will be used this beam. Okay, but for practice purposes, I'm just going to use one beam. Okay, in fact, it will reach much differences, but it only will. Let me illustrate for you. I think most of you might know already. So this is, let's say for ground beam. Ground beam, we will take full height as precedence, and then this is the slab maybe. Okay. So for frame beam, the slab will take full extent, and then the frame beam, concrete, it will take only until beneath of the slab. Right, so this is the differences between these two. Right, so it depends. In this training purposes, I'm going to use beam only. I'm going to use beam only. The modeling part, it will be similar. Right, so for beam, okay, we can identify, we can know that, okay, so now you know that I want to do the beams, right? I need to identify where is my beam. So from here, in the drawing, we actually have horizontal beam, and we also have the vertical beam. Right? You can see the dotted green color line. Okay, so let us practice the auto identify.
Thì cái file em gửi lại anh chị cũng đánh giá giống như cái file cũ chứ không có khác gì hết.
Yeah, if you click on the beam, if you see here, if you click on this beam, you only can see beam, coupling beam, and rim beam. All right. If you want to see on ground beam will be fall under category foundation. You need to open the foundation, you need to expand the foundation, then you will see there is a ground beam. Both are actually fall under different category. One is
Họ gửi cái
under
file không
foundation,
không
another
không
one
không
is
không
under
upload
BIM.
gì hết trơn.
Yeah, yeah, you need to, you can find it. Yeah, ground beam is actually under foundation. For normal beam, frame beam actually under beam. Yeah, no problem. So we stick back to our normal beam, okay, as a practice purposes. The modeling part will be the same, right? For beam, okay, make sure at the beam here, okay, let us try to going to use three methods, right? Three steps. The first one, pick side line. The side line of the beam will be is two. Give one line and second line, right? They will be this dotted line. Let us try to pick side line. Okay, let us pick the first line, and then don't be so excited. Okay, don't be so excited. The next one you will see at grid line 6, 7, A, grid line 6, 7, and B, you have another one green color dotted line is missed out. You need to select also. Okay, this is the situation that you need to make sure that it's all the lines actually being picked. Right? Okay, make sure you pick these two. Okay, I come back to you shortly, Chong. One moment. Okay, let us complete this method first. Okay, when you pick side line, you need to pick everything, including, okay, you have one line which is missed out at grid line B, and 6, 7, you need to left click against, and then we right click. Make sure all the line is hidden. Okay, it's actually go to the pick layer. Right. The second part will be pick label. I left click on the pick label. I pick on this GB5. Once I click it, everything will be picked. Right click to confirm. And the third step, auto identify. Okay, comes to here, it will ask you to is suggested to draw the column and walls before identifying beams. In this way, the end of identifying beam will automatically extended into column and walls, and the beam span can be more accurately identified. Continue. Yes. Okay. This is what it means is this prompt actually saying that you need to identify all the column and all the wall first in order for you to identify the beam. Okay. So this click on yes. Right. So you will have all the beams being generated. So come back to Chong. The difference is the concrete and formwork quantity, right? Yeah, you are right, Chong. The difference between the ground beam and the normal frame beam, they will be in terms of the concrete and also the formwork. As I say this one, this is the ground beam. Okay, if you use ground beam, and if you use frame beam, okay, so the quantity it will be different in this part. Okay, and also the foundation and also the formwork part. Okay. Right, can repeat again? Sure, no problem. One moment. Let me do it one more time. Okay. I'm going to do it one more time. First, okay, make sure, okay, we pick side line. Okay, I click on this dotted line. I can zoom in. I left click once. I don't right click first, because I have another green line I need to left click as well. Okay, to form it, and you zoom out and check is that all the beam is being identified, being selected, and then you right click. All right. The next thing, pick label. Okay, I left click. I just zoom in. Maybe I just find GH1. Left click. Okay, you zoom out and check is that all the beam information being selected, and then you just right click. The third part will be just click on this auto identify, and then you click on yes. All right. Are you able to get the beam? Are you able? Yep, no worry. Are you able to get the beam? If yes, give me a beam. Okay, give me a beam message. Beam. Okay, I'm going to explain further what are the things that we need to take care of. Right, beam. Okay. Okay. CWH. Yeah. I'm going to explain to you further on this one. Right. If the line you actually miss out. So for example, okay, I go back here. Okay, I explain more in further. If you already done, you just leave it. Okay, and then listen to my explanation. If I just click on it and then I didn't check on it. There's one more line I didn't do it. Then I just right click and then I pick my label, right click and then I auto identify. Then you can see the beam here, it will not be generated, right? Because software didn't detect another line. Okay, what you can do, there are some things, okay, auto-identify is fast, the method is fast. However, although it's fast, we need to do a double checking on it, right? The few things you can actually do, see the CWH, right? You can just select on it and then you can open back all the layer. You can manually just point back to the location. You can manually point back to that particular location. Then you're able to do it. Or, okay, what you can do is, I just open back my pick layer. Okay, I only open my pick layer. Okay, don't get yourself confused. If something happens wrongly, okay, something happens wrongly, what you can do back is, okay, you can actually delete all your beams. Okay, you delete all your beams. One moment. Okay, right. Currently you have this beam, right? Okay, what you can do is, I want to re-identify again. Okay, you can actually close this cross element select, and then you just left click and drag everything, the beam, and you just press delete. Then it will only delete your beam. Okay, then I want to restore the pick cat layer entity. Okay, this is what it means is, I want to restore whatever beams line. Okay, I only want to select the beams to restore back to the original layer. Okay, and then I try to pick sideline, pick label, and identify again. Okay, it actually have two methods for you to do. First is you just drag the entities to the bottom, or you can do this method, which is I can restore my pick entity, pick cat entity. Okay, so let me do in this way for the pick entity. Right. So for here, I can restore my pick cat entity. I can just select back or just now the beam, okay, and also the label, right click. Then they will fall back to the original layer. Okay, I can then perform again. I can pick the sideline again, and this time make sure you have selected the second dotted line. Right click, pick the label, for example GH1, right click, and auto identify. Then you will have it. Okay, then you will have this. No worry. So yeah, it's a good point. You are actually pointing up the another function, restore pick cat entity. Okay, it's something like whatever layer. Okay, for example, you have this kind of layer. You already pick maybe this one, these two line to. Maybe this one is the original. And this one is pick. Right. You already pick to here. You become this. You become in here. Pick. This function restore back, meaning to say you are actually restoring back. Okay, we're restoring back to become 5 original and 0 at the pick layer. right? Okay, so now let us see. Let's see our model. We have our beam, right? As I said just now, open back all the layer. Okay, open back all the layer. Okay, let us see the logical way of the entities, right? I mentioned just now. Okay, we have manual method and auto identify method. Manual method, it won't go wrong. Okay, because you based on one every single cat line to draw it. But if you use identify method, auto identify, we have few things we need to make sure, right? After we draw it, okay, we need to make sure it's actually fill in the line of the beam. Okay, okay, and then you can see from our bare eyes, okay, naked eye, we can see from grid line A to A1 and also grid line 3 in this part. Let us focus on this part. Okay, if you see on this part, right, remember you still at the beam. Huh? You will see this one, the one that I highlighted. In fact, this one is not a beam. Am I right? This one is not the beam, but the software is actually treated as this one is actually the fill in the blank they need to fill in. Okay, it actually auto generate the beam here. Okay, this one when I select it, it's actually a unnamed beam. Okay, what we want is I don't want this beam. Okay, because it's actually wrongly identified. I just select it and then I press delete. Okay, I press my keyboard delete. Right? Press the keyboard delete. So now it's making more sense now. Okay, it's making more sense now. Right? But you will have this stretch. You have this missing stretch. Okay, have this missing stretch. How am I going to do that? Okay, you can, and also you have the surplus one. You have the additional part of here. I need to remove it, and I need to extend this one also to the middle. Okay. How we can do it? Step by step. Okay, we focus on this vertical beam first. Okay, we can zoom in, and then we can just I close my random point. I close my random point. I left click once on the green point, and then I can move it freely, and I left click. So we go up. Right? The second part, GH8. I want it to be extended. I need to select it first, left click, and then I zoom in, I find the green point, it will become red color point, and left click, and then it will be move it freely. Okay, I can point at here. Okay, I point at this end. Yeah, you can actually extend as well, correct? Yeah, you can just extend. Okay, and then this one, unnamed bin 550 to 500. Okay, for this one, it will be similar things. It will be this unnamed bin 150, 500. Okay, you can also just use the draw function, line. I can just draw it and I close it. Right, you have three things to do. The first thing, you need to remove the first part, this one. You need to remove here. The second part, you need to move your beam, okay, to this point. The GH8, you need to extend to the end of this C21. And in this horizontal part is actually we're using unnamed beam 150 by 500 to close up the gap. All right. How about others? Are you able to correct it? If yes, give me a yes. All right. So I emphasize again, auto identification is fast, but it way too fast. Okay. So you need to check properly. Okay. Based on our drawing. The most important thing, because our source of drawing, whatever indicating, we need to amend accordingly. Okay. can you show me how to extend the unnamed beam? All right. Okay, so for the unnamed beam, right, from here, the unnamed beam here, if you say too thick, right, it's because you're actually currently selecting the others beam. Okay, you need to select the unnamed beam first. Okay, because I know from here, I know from the adjacent one, this is unnamed beam already. Okay, I just press on escape, okay, to exit, and then I choose this unnamed beam. Okay, I use this line function. Okay, for beam is only able to use line function. Okay, and then you just left click, and then you fill in the blank until here, and then you just right click to exit. All right, no problem. Okay, so some additional tools to let you know whether just now Vivian, let's say I encounter one problem and the drawing structural engineer didn't provide the beam information here. How am I going to know is actually what is the width of it, right? Okay, as you see, if you notice in the draw tab, you'll have this measure distance, right? So if you select this measure distance, okay, I can select, for example, this point 1, okay, point 1 until this point 2. Then I know this is the 150 mm width of the beam. Okay, then I will be able to use this beam, and then I just draw it accordingly. Okay, so one more thing to highlight to you. In fact, we're actually doing it auto-identify. Okay, we auto-identify the beam. Okay, it will be extended end to end. Okay, some of you will ask me, center to center, I need to draw it. And for example, this one I need to draw until the edge of the adjacent beams, or whether I need to draw. I need to trim down. For example, here. Okay, for example, trim. I use the trim here. Okay, you ask me whether I need to extend it all, or I need to draw it center to center. Okay, so from here, I will explain to you in another theory is when our model do in TAS, okay, when our model do in TAS, we're going to export the whole model to TRB, right? What we call is extra project collaboration, export the cubic model. All right, so why? I will encourage you to point it center to center, or you will point it to the edge of the adjacent entities, right? But without opening the random point. Why? Because if you can see, let's say I have these two beams. Let me calculate the selected quantity and let you see the result. So let's say this one. So from here, this one, in fact, you'll get center to center. Okay, it will share among. It will share among the quantity. Okay, this one is, for example, we will have this 0.535 meter cube. Or let's say I do it to the edge. Right, so this one. You will see, either way, just now, whether I draw it at the center to center, or I draw it at the edge of it, it will still show me 0.535. Okay, it will show me the same quantity. Okay, meaning to say the software, it will actually get, if you can see clearly, it will actually get this length of the center line. Okay, it will get center line. Regardless of I draw until the edge, it will get center line. Okay, let's say I keep on emphasize on this random point. If you accidentally open, right, And somehow, if you open it, if you draw until something like here, okay? So from here, if you calculate it, just now is 0.535, right? You see, 0.537. You will calculate the extended length in terms of quantity for the volume of the concrete. Also, if you export the whole model to TRB, in TRB, we will have, for intersection of the entities, right, we will have anchorage, right? Mostly we will have anchorage for each of the intersection entities, intersection elements, right? So in this case, this will be generated unnecessary reinforcement bar in terms of quantity, right? So either way, whether you want to put it in center to center, also can, or you can straight away put it at the edge, okay, at the edge of the adjacent beam. Also no worry, also never mind. Okay, similar applies to walls. Okay, it's similar applies to walls as well, right? So yeah, and then once you've done this, you need to check clearly, and you will find something very strange, right? Let us focus at the grid line number 6. Okay, grid line number 6, and also from D to E. Okay, D to E. You will see this beam. Okay, you will see one upstand beam, GH5. Okay, for this GH5 upstand beam, what it means is, what he want, okay, for the software is actually they want it to be upstand, right? You want the beam is actually generated in terms of this 140 thickness times with the 450 mm, and this one is 500 mm, and the width is 400. Is 140. Maybe it's 140. Right, I just make it bigger like, for you to see. Okay, this is the result we want, right? And let us see the result. Okay, in this case, it comes to the point that I don't want to see my column. It's very disturbing. What you can do, you can just press on C. Okay, you get me? Press on C, and I view my 3D again. And also, in this GV10, it's very disturbing. I don't want to see this beam. But in fact, if I just, the beam is after B, right? If I click on B, everything will be gone, right? Everything will be gone. How am I going to hide only this particular entity? Okay, how am I going to hide only this particular GV10? Okay, in order for me to see my GH5. Okay, what I can do is, if you go to the View tab, okay, I need to select my beam GV10. Okay, then you will see there is a function, hide the selected entity. Right? So I just click on it, and it will automatically hide for it. Okay, it will automatically be hide. Right? So then you can see from the section, in fact, the GH5 is not the thing that we want. Right? It's not the thing that we want. Right? How are we going to set this? Okay, how are we going to set this? Okay, so everyone is the same page, right? Okay, I'm back to the 2D. Okay, the first thing, okay, I'm going to explain to you further. The first thing, I need to create a break. I need to break it into 2. Okay, and then I change this one. I change the name, okay, to become the GH5 upstand, and then I change the depth to become 500, and then I need to play around with my elevation. Okay, later on we are going to do it. Right, together, everyone. First thing, we go back to the Draw tab. Okay, you select on this break. Okay, status bar asks you to select the entity. I select this GH5, everyone. Okay, and then I right click to confirm. select the breakpoint, it actually can select multiple points. Okay, I just select a point just beside this C14. Okay, I select this point. Everyone follow us, follow together. I left click once, you will see there is a white color cross. Okay, once it had one is occur, and then we just right click to confirm. So you will say a break success. Okay, a break success. Are you able to break into two? Okay, when you can select, you will see you will select two entities instead of one entities. Are you able to break? Okay, are you able to break? Yes. All right. So what? Yeah, sure. Can repeat again. One moment. So I want to break this. I want to break this GH5 to 2. Right. First thing, okay. I click on this draw break. I left click once, and then ask you to select entity. Right. I select this GH5, and then I right click to confirm. Okay. The next step, it asks you to select the breakpoint. I will just scroll in. I just select this C14, just beside here. I just select this point. Okay, I left click once. Then there will be white color cross appeared, and then I can just right click to confirm. Okay, and then you can just press escape. Okay, we press escape from the break function. Okay, then you are able to select. Okay, you're able to see the beam is actually separated too. All right. Are you able to done it, Vivian? Right. All right. Nice. Okay. So we have two. So our next step is I want to change the name here. Okay. This one, and I select the left part. When I select the left part, it's actually GH5 140 by 450 is correct. I select on this part. If I select only for the right hand side part, okay, then I will see it's actually GH5 140 and 450. This is not what I want. I want it to be 500. And I want to rename the name to GH5 to become upstand. Okay, remember when you want to select, you only need to select the right hand side. You don't select both. You only select your right hand side. Okay, once you select once, how are you going to select another one? You just press escape. Okay, it will be deselect, and you just select the right hand side. Okay, and the name here, GH5 hyphen, I put it up stand. Okay, I hyphen up stand. Right, and then once I press enter, a separated GH5 upstand is being created because the name will be different to this GH5 original already, right? Okay, and then we are going to change the height to become 500. Okay, and then I press on escape. So let us see from 3D. So are you able to get the result as what I showed in the screen? Right, yes, okay. But is that the result that what we want? Okay, comparing with what I draw just now here. Right. Is that the result that what I want? If you compare from the above to the below. Right? Can answer me, everyone? What I want is upstand, right? What I want is upstand. Yeah, clearly. So you can see by comparing it, I want upstand. Why I changed the height already? It still didn't show me the upstand. Okay. So from here comes the elevation that I just now this morning I emphasized many times. Okay, right. For beams, okay, the start top will be our floor bottom elevation, which is our 84, right? Okay, so from here, in order for you to align for you to align the bottom part, what is the variances between these two parts? It will be 500 minus 450, right? It become 50 only, right? So I need to select the right-hand side beam, okay? Normally, I will view in this 3D and then we just bend it and you can see the changes, okay? In fact, the start top elevation, it shouldn't be 83.4 already, okay? I need to plus another 50 mm, which is 0.05 meter, okay? It will be 0.05 meter. And then I click on enter. There you go. Then you will have this beam, the bottom is aligned by adding 50 mm. Okay, you don't add plus 50, yeah, you need to plus 0.05 because the reading here is actually in meter. The unit is in meter. And you are able to get the upstand beam. Alright, are you able to get this upstand beam by changing the elevation? Okay, I repeat again. What is the elevation of this? Right, originally, the start top, the end top. Okay, original, the elevation here. It's actually shown here. Floor bottom elevation is 83 point, and this point is 83.4, right? I want to make it align, and I have the variance just now is 50 mm. I need to 83. So the reading here will become 83.4 plus 0.05. It will become 83.45. Okay, and the result also show you that it's actually 83.45. Okay, I break on the middle of the column. No worry, Divya. No worry. You can just put it at the center of the column also, never mind. Don't worry. I just want to let you guys expose on the function, how you break, how you change the name, the height, and also how you adjust the elevation to form the upstand. Whether or not the location of the breaking point, no worry. Right? Don't worry about that. Okay, because for the evaluation, I won't compare the quantity. Okay, I just want to get you guys familiar with the operation, okay, and also the suitable function in order for you to get your model. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, so able to get the upstand? If yes, be a upstand message. Upstand. Reply me upstand. If you don't break the acceleration, what will be the result? All right. Okay. Hui Jun. Okay. We have a question. Okay. So let me fulfill Hui Jun's question. Okay. Hui Jun, if you don't break, okay, when I select, I only can select this whole part. Right. I select this whole GH file, and I select and I change. I plus 0.05. And you can see the whole thing from A to B, from point A to point B, it will become upwards. So you don't see the breaking point. Okay, you don't have the upstand effect. Right? No worry, Hui-Jun. Okay, let me go back. This one. Okay, one moment. Let me break it and I can do it one more time. Okay. And then I put it to 500. Okay, this one I need to write it to 05. All right, so there we go. So once we have done, okay, don't so fast go to another element. Okay, we need to recall back our beam here, our GV10. Okay, we don't get our GV10 missing. Okay, if not, you're going to you were thought that you didn't drop it. Okay, similarly, go back to the view and restore the entity display. Okay, go back to view, restore entity display. Click on it, and then everything is come back together. Right? And if I click on C, I will have my column here. Right. So some of you might ask, okay, without later on I'm going to go for the slide. Before that, I want to explain to you further. Okay. Some of you might ask for floor to floor, let's say for example, this is ground floor and this is first floor and this is my roof. Okay. If I have my vertical element, for example, this is my column, then you will ask this particular portion, it will fall under which category, the intersection? Will it fall under category of beam, or it will fall under category of column? Make a guess, everyone. Can you guess whether is it fall under category beam or it will fall under category column? Okay. Make a guess, everyone. Column. Right? Okay. So yes, the answer is column. And you don't worry about the verticality. And even I got you might ask for, let's say for example this beam, if you're not doing the auto identify method, right? You will ask whether when I draw the beams here, do I need to stop at this column? Because you will scared whether the quantity will be duplicated, right? So maybe is it my this GH1, and then I need to continue to draw my GH1 from this column and then to the edge of the column, right? So in fact, you do not need to do so. Okay, you can just simply penetrate through. Okay, you can just simply penetrate through the whole beam, because the quantity it will as per the SMM. Okay, vertical element take precedence. Okay, then it will automatically deduct. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, you can just freely penetrate through the vertical element. Okay? In fact, the vertical element will take precedence. Right. All right. So the next thing, interesting part, also quite interesting part, will be our slab. Okay, we already done two things. We have beam, we have column, and we need to have our slab. Right. For slab, as you can see from the drawings, how many slab we have? We have S1 175, S2 150, and even we have S3 125. Right? Okay, so for slab, we go to the slab. Okay, and just click on this slab. In situ slab, we also have precast slab, spiral slab, and we even here can do it. We can do ramp. Okay, slab opening as well. For this one, I do it in situ slab. I create in situ slab. Okay, this one, rename as accordingly. This time I want you to practice on the manual method. Okay, we put it manual method because slab is quite easy for us. Okay, let's say put S1, and then I put it 175. Okay. All the information here I didn't change anything because the main important things I want to deliver is the functionality. Okay, the logical thinking, the logical ways that what are the category, what are the material, etc. This one will be secondary already. Okay, I will just focus more on the how we can model it. And this one, I think when you do the model, you will have to make sure everything is correct. Okay, S1 is 775. I can create another one. S2, I just click on copy. It will be 150. And even S3 is 125. Okay. So as you can see for slab, you have three types. You have few types. You have use point, use line, you can use rectangle, or you can use this 3-point arc, you can do circle. Okay, I can even some fundamental. If you want to use point, how are you going to use point? Right. So let's say I illustrate one more thing for you. Let's say I use GH1. If I have a fully enclosed beam, okay, meaning to say I have all connected, okay, center to center, or even end to end, okay, to the edge, okay, to the adjacent element. Or I have a beam, okay, I have a beam, I have a beam nicely drawn, but I have a gap here, okay, but our naked eye can't see. Okay, from these two, I would like to emphasize to you, when we use point function, okay, this point function, you can use it, for example, this one. This is what we call enclosed area. And this is what we call non-enclosed area. One enclosed area means you don't have the connectivity between the adjacent elements, right? So from here, if you want to perform a point function, okay, let's say I use point function. In enclosed area, I point it, I'm able to generate the slab. If this non-enclosed area, I point it, there will be a gap. Okay, it will say that a gap exists between the GH1 and GH1. Okay, maybe you can just auto process, you can just extend. Okay, then you're able to draw it. Okay? You need to extend it. Okay, if you didn't extend, if you point it, you're unable to point because there is a gap here. Okay, similarly, this is why I emphasize when you use point function, better for you to have the enclosed area. Okay, let us see here. In fact, whatever thing that auto identification, the connectivity, the intersection is very perfect, right? So what we can do is we can just at this S1, we select S1. Okay, I press on this point. Okay, I just need to go to this, for example, this first panel S1. At any other location, okay, at any other point of location, I just simply point it, okay, between this S1 enclosed area. Okay, I just point it S1. Okay, then I right click to exit. The next will be X2. Okay, use point function as well. I point. Okay, I keep on point for that. Right, I point all the S2. Right, and then the remaining one will be our S3. Okay, the remaining will be in my S3. And maybe I change the color for the S3, easy for you to refer. Huh? This is my S3. And here, we don't have the information at the car post. Although, never mind, I just assume it's actually my S3 as well. Okay, assumption, we make assumption for that. Okay, so you will have your S1, S2, and S3. Right. Just now, I also show you on how to, I accidentally show you on how to display the style color. Right? Okay. Also, okay, if you actually can, if you see the display style, remember the private attribute. In fact, you already draw for this S1, right? You need to select it. Let's say you want to change the color. Let's say I select and then I change it to maybe a brown color for me. Okay, and you can see I have the change color already. So this is S1 as this yellow color, yellow and orange. Gray color will be S2. The S3 will be in more pink color. Okay, you're able to see. Are you able to point your slab easily? Yes, please comment slab. Okay, let me know slab. Okay, if you have completed point your slab in the enclosed area. Don't worry, it takes some time. Please let me know if you already complete your slab. Okay, you use the point function for the enclosed area. Right, Chong? Nice. How about others? Are you changing the color? Are you changing the color of the slab? Yes. Right. Yeah. You can change the color of the slab if you wish to. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. This is the element, okay, that we have for column beam slab. Right, if you're done for the slab, okay, let me know, okay. Comment your slab. So if you let me know also, let me know in the chat box as well. Right, if we are okay, it's 3:06 now. I think maybe we take a 15 minutes break. We take a 15 minutes break. Okay, you can change your color of the slab. Face any difficulty, you let me know. Okay, 15 minutes later we come back. Okay, we come back. All right. Coming back, we're going to do for our wall. We have RC wall and masonry wall. Okay. See you later on. No problem. So you want to unhide, you just go to the view. Okay. Let's say this one. Let's say I hide it. Okay. You just go to the view and then you just press on this restore entity display. Then everything will be displayed out. Okay. Can, no problem, Helen. Right. Okay. Right, Helen. So from here, if you already point your S2, right? We already point your slab. In fact, remember just now I mentioned to you, you have private attribute and public attribute. Okay. In this case, fill color is actually in our private attribute. Okay. If you want to change the color, for example, S3, okay, I need to select the whatever entity I draw first. And then only I can add this, I scroll down, okay, I scroll down, there will be a display style, fill color, okay, on the drop down, I select the color that I want. It will be this color. Okay, then we will be changing for that. All right, we have a question from Martin. We'd like to go back to the upstand beam, how to make the upstand to the length we want to, like 4.5 meter. Right, Martin, the length, you want the length to 4.5 meter. No. Do you mean you want the height or you want the length? Yeah. Yeah, the length. Okay. Right. So, see. Okay. If you want to make it your specific beam, right, to become specific length, okay, if this auto identify, let's say, I do in this way lah. Okay. Okay. If you want to draw it, in that one you might need to draw it manually already. If you want to specific 4.5 meter length, okay. The function is you need to open this, what we call is that dynamic input. If you click on this, and then you will see there is a reading here. If you point it once, and then you just put it 4500, 4.5, so it will be created a 4.5 meter length. Okay, it will be 4.5 meter length, specific 4.5 for the beam. All right. So if you check on the distance, it will be 4.5. All right. So after you identify, you found out that you want it to be specific, the length. In fact, after you identify it, auto identify it, it won't go wrong lah. Or if you want to manually model it, you want it to be 4.5, you can use this method. Once again, repeat this auto, dynamic input. Okay, and then you can click on first point, and then you put it. Let's say I want it to be 4,000, or maybe I put it 5,000. Okay, and then you just right click. Then there will be a 5,000 meter length beam. All right. All right, Martin. Okay, Vivian, please turn it off for updates. After you start the work I done just now, won't say. Suddenly off. If suddenly off, it will only save until the autosave prompt. The autosave prompt that you click on save. Vivian, do you want me to can you share your screen? Maybe let us see the progress so that we can get back your backup file. The PC is still updating. Don't worry about that. Later, I'm going to laptop for Zoom. The PC is still updating. I see. Okay, no, wait, I will wait you. If your PC is on, okay, you just click on the project file. You let me know, okay? I will guide you for that. So, Muli, okay, from here, please input the value in the range of -5,000 to 5,000. Okay, this is a moment now. See. Muli, how about you share your screen? Let me see what is your problem of it. You are not able to change the elevation, is it? Yeah, sure. You share your screen and let me have a look on your model. Sure, no problem. All right. Let me request a control, yeah. Okay. You have the problem at this one, right? Let me close the slab first. Okay, let's see this one. All right. So for pro bottom elevation, you double click. You can add 0.05. Right. And there you go. You're able to do that.
Cookware. One of the first places you may have heard about Pfos is this idea of the Teflon non-stick pans from back in the day. It's dyes, polishes, adhesives. Recently starting to see results about it being in fast food packaging, cleaning agents, and also shampoos, hand creams, makeups. These chemicals really are part of our lives and in a wide range of our products.
So make sure you double click.
So that's where we're using it. Where are we finding now what we call these point source contamination locations? Where is this product being used and how is it entering our environment? Point source, for those that might not be familiar with the terms, is this idea of when a release occurs, you can point to a specific location. Like think of a pipe draining into a river as an example of a point source contamination location. So you can look at a location, look at a site and be like, okay, the source is coming from this location.
So we not necessarily.
So
need
what those might be?
No, you
Well,
need to
the
click your
places where
BIM first.
PFOS components are being
Oh, but because
manufactured,
just now
places where
the
they're
one
being
you change
used, the
is the
secondary
flat one.
manufacturing process,
Change the slide.
military fire training
Yeah.
sites, and airports.
Let me
Those
close my
ones that we
slide.
understand some of the best right now, just from. There are other less known sources
Just
that
now
are
I
less
changed
understood
this.
sources, you know,
Oh,
where we
Okay.
understand very well, military fire
okay,
training sites
everyone,
are
if you
globally
look
recognized
carefully,
as a potential
currently
source
Moodle
of
is actually
contamination.
opening the slab
It's
element,
not
right?
yet well understood what
fact,
municipal
You're
fire
actually
training
opening the
sites
cross element slab.
have
If you
used and how
select this
that may have
one,
impacted local
you
groundwater, oil
don't
refineries,
confuse
rail
yourself. If you
yards,
select,
metal
you
plating
open the cross element
facilities,
select, and you
wastewater
select
treatment
this beam.
plants,
In
and
fact, the attribute
landfills
editor, it will show you the beam
are less
information.
understood, but still
It
are
will show you the beam
believed to be
information.
potential
Although
sources
you're
of
actually in this
contamination
slide
to the
and in this slide.
environment from PFOS.
It actually is a beam.
All right, so
beam
why does this matter? I mean, we've
elevation.
got chemicals
And you can
everywhere
see
in our lives.
this is the beam
Why are we
elevation that
concerned
we set
about
aside.
PFOS? Well, part of that is because
Okay.
of its potential
Okay.
Yeah,
toxicity
sometimes we play
in
around with this
humans
cross
and
element
other
select, you'll get
animals.
yourself confused.
This is
But don't worry
still
about
being
it.
studied. This is
Later time you will
regularly
get
being
used to it,
investigated because
right?
some of the many of the
Thank you, Molly, for
epidemiological
sharing.
studies
Thank you.
that have
Thank
been
you.
done so far have not shown consistent results. And that makes sense considering just how wide a chemical group this is and how little it's been studied over time until recently. But what has been determined is that elevated levels of PFOS and PFOA in the human body have been associated with actual health effects, an increase in blood cholesterol, liver damage, into responding to ship fires. There had been
Alright,
a
guys,
catastrophic
are you
event,
guys coming- are you guys back already?
and the need for a better
You're
product
back.
was
Leave me
identified.
Message back for me.
So
Okay, let me know.
this product has
Okay, I
been
can
created and in use now, 1938
continue.
into the
Okay, I
1960s
can
and
continue
70s,
on the
and
next
now
element.
1978. Some
Right.
manufacturers are becoming
Jackie
aware
back.
of what we call the
Sharu back,
C8 or
guys.
the
Others?
PFOS
You guys back?
compounds
Or
in
fall
the
asleep
blood of
already?
their manufacturing workers. So, as these workers
Yeah.
are going about
If you don't
their
understand anything, let me know, yeah? You
their
just
daily
stop me.
responsibilities, they're becoming exposed to the
Will we be
PFAS
doing drop in
and
this-
absorbing that into
drop in this
themselves.
class? CWH,
By
are you
1997,
saying about the
PFOS
drops on the
has
slab,
been
right?
ubiquitously detected in the blood
Okay,
bank
drop in the
samples
slab.
from
Yeah, okay.
non-occupationally exposed people
wanted to
around the
show you
world.
guys,
And what that
in this
really
part.
means in a nutshell
Yeah.
is that folks,
Okay.
individuals
Right.
who were not
So,
working directly
this-
with PFOS
every one of us
chemicals
is back.
were
Okay.
somehow still becoming
So-
exposed and having that indetectable
right, let me
concentrations in
open
their
back
blood.
all my elements.
Paya, to
Oh,
speak to your
okay.
question,
I think
2002 is when the primary global manufacturer of PFOS phased out the
share your
PFOS
screen.
production
Let me see.
and its related chemistries. In 2006, we see in the US, 8 major manufacturers are committed to phasing out the PFOA compounds by 2015.
Oh, yeah,
In 2008, now we've got the European Food Safety Authority looking
how
at
about your element?
tolerable daily
Do you
intake
have
for
all the
PFOS. This is
element with
really
you
where we
now?
first start to see
Or is
an
stop
entity
until
trying to
column
quantify
only?
how much is okay to have as part of a daily exposure. I touched on this briefly in the toxicity slide. 7 years of research the C8 science panel took
Until
to
beam, I see.
study all of
Okay,
the
how about
available
the
data
upstand beam?
and came up with
The
the
upstand beam,
probable
is it,
link
already done
between
setting?
PFOA exposure, ulcerative colitis, high cholesterol, and the other health challenges. I skipped one here, sorry. 2009, the Stockholm Convention classified the PFOS as a persistent organic pollutant and added it to the Annex B with intention to restrict its use in countries that are party to the Stockholm Convention.
Right. How about the upstand
All right.
beam?
So fast
Great,
forward now,
got the height.
there's been an increasing
No
amount
problem,
of focus
no
on
Okay, wait.
PFOS.
Others,
And
maybe
that's
we can
tied to
take
its
another
ubiquitous
5
use.
back,
It's
another
tied
5.
to
right.
getting a better
You can
understanding of its
update how many
toxicity
cases of
and
today, let me know.
and how it's
Right.
being detected in
If
people
not
and the
mistaken, it's
environment.
around 19,000 right today.
In 2015, that's when the phase out was
today.
completed by those 8 manufacturing companies that had made that commitment.
Stay safe, everyone. Really.
In 2015, the
Whoever
US EPA
is working at office
undertook an effort to analyze the public drinking water sources in the continental United States and found that PFAS was present in 97 public drinking water supplies. It's a fairly significant number considering where some of these water supplies were located and the number of individuals they were servicing. In 2015, there's a global movement among scientists and professionals that led to the Midway Statement, which urged a complete move away from PFAS chemistry.
Once again,
and
whoever is actually need to travel
concurrently
to
to that, in 2015 and 2016, we're starting to see now the designation in the U.S. of contaminated sites as Superfund sites, which is a very specific kind of cleanup site and effort underneath the CIRCLA laws in the U.S. And we're also starting to see the lawsuits. Communities looking at the manufacturers or users of these products and trying to determine responsibility for how the environment got contaminated in the first place. And then in 2016, now we have as a persistent organic pollutant. And also in 2016, US issued their first health advisory limit for PFOS and PFOA at 70 parts per trillion. The thing about the health advisory is that it's not a legally enforceable cleanup limit. It's just a health advisory. So let's quickly take an analogy here on what parts per trillion mean, because this is a very, very, very small number, approximately equivalent to a single grain of sugar in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, or 1 second in 31,500 years. It is a very, very small quantity, and the health advisory was set at 70 parts per trillion, so very, very low. So now, as these health advisories are being populated in the US and Europe is also having them as well now, where PFOS is what we like to call an emerging contaminant. So that means that environmental regulations on PFOS are continuing to evolve with health advisories and preliminary drinking water standards and environmental quality standards. However, because nothing is ever easy, there's no global consensus on what an appropriate health advisory should be or what an appropriate screening criteria should be. And there's limited to no enforceable regulatory criteria established here in Asia yet. And by enforceable, I mean this idea that there is a very clear regulation, much like we have for drinking water standards, for XYZ compound, this is the limit. That doesn't exist for PFOS yet. We touched briefly on that PFOS are classified as these POPs. PFAS and PFOS are classified under the Stockholm Convention. The catch to that is, for here in Asia, and also in certain places around the world, not every country is party to the treaty. And even for the countries that are, not all of them have adopted the annex as part of their legally enforceable set of laws for their own country.
All right. Good. Nice. So is everyone ready?
Yeah, PFOS, okay. They do not biodegrade. We touched on the chemical strength of those bonds. They do have the ability to what we call biotransform into daughter compounds, which are as equally as persistent in the environment. They're also water soluble, which makes them mobile in groundwater.
And also
historically, when we're looking at trying to
4 to
understand
6.
PFOS in
Okay,
in
which is
human
this
health
part.
and the
Okay, this part
environment,
we have
this
actually
has
a
been
drop. We have 2
really
tier.
limited to a smaller subset
So for
of
this drop,
the chemical
we
compounds,
focus
the
more
PFOS
in,
and the
I don't want to see
PFOA.
my beam. Okay, I close my beam, I close my column, right?
So
So
PFOS
for
in Asia,
these
when we
drops,
touched on the
in fact, it's actually
history, it was
150 mm
focused, we saw
drops, right?
the US
The first thing
and
we
what
need to
Europe
do
was looking
is
to
I
do.
need to
It's also
okay,
becoming a
briefly
known
explain to you.
situation
Okay,
here
first
in
thing I
Asia.
need to split.
Per and
Okay,
poor
just
PFOS
now
in
our
drinking
beam,
water
I
in
use
China.
break, right? I break into
There's
2 parts.
conducting the
For
risk
this
assessment and
slab, I need
geographical
to
distribution.
split into
Here in
1, 2, 3
Singapore,
parts.
there's this article
Okay, get me?
about what PFOS
So
and
from here,
PFOA in
later
the
on, I
waters of
need to
Singapore.
use a split function to split
In
1
Malaysia,
and second. So you
looking
have 1, 2, 3
looking
parts.
over the whole region.
Similarly, you
And
can,
again here,
we
this
were going to
recently
use the
coming out,
elevation, okay, to change the
cosmetics
elevation to drop to 25
having
mm each.
PFOS as well.
Right?
When this
Put
slide deck
together.
goes out,
First of
all of these links
okay, first
are
of all,
clickable.
I press escape. I
Please
press escape
feel
anything.
free to read through
First
those
thing,
if you're
I
interested,
go
and happy to have a
to,
conversation on that
this
later.
slab. Okay.
Okay.
And then I need
So what
to
does
Can
select
I,
my slab.
uh,
Okay, currently
just
the
jump in? I
split
just
is
remember
not
sometime back
inactive.
you
I need to
mentioned
go
there
to
was
my
a movie
slab,
on
in situ
Pfos.
slab.
Do you mind sharing what the name of that is?
Okay.
It's quite recent, right? I remember.
Split is
It was
able for us to
it was a
use.
podcast. Let me get back to
Right,
you
I
on
close
that.
my beam. I don't want to see
I
my
can get you the
Okay.
link to that podcast.
Then
That was
I
talking
click on
about
the split.
the
Ask you
that
to
that movie, that
select the
podcast is
entity.
talking about
Okay, I
the
left click
site that kind of
once,
started
and then I
this
right
all,
click
which
to
is
confirm.
I think it was a Dow
Specify the
chemical
first
plant
point.
in
Okay,
Michigan.
my first point will be this. I
And
zoom
it covers that story from the legal findings all the way
starting point of
onward.
this
It's
red
a really
color
great
and the
podcast. Let me
ending point
get
of
you
this
that
red
link
color.
after this call, if that's okay.
Yeah, thanks, Ida.
Okay,
So that's
that
the
you will
high
have
level
these
overview,
two,
PFOS
separate into
chemistry,
two already.
history, where we're finding it, and what does it
Right?
mean.
It's separate into two
So what does
already.
all this add up to, and how is
Okay, I will
Arcadis
need to do
globally
another
responding
one,
to
which is
this?
one. Similarly,
Across the world, actually, Arcadis is
and then
pretty much
I
on the
select
cutting edge of
entity,
this when it comes to PFOS
right click to
investigations,
confirm.
remediation of
I need to
PFOS
specify the
impacted
first
sites, and transitioning
the
away
second
from PFOS containing firefighting foams.
and we right click.
On the remediation side,
Then you will have
we've actually got this
1,
Evoqua
2, and
okay,
3.
that is very,
Okay, we
very
have
good at
3.
working to
We
remove
have
PFOS compounds from
split into
impacted
3
groundwaters. And on the firefighting foam side, we've actually have a
Right?
a cleaning
1, 2, 3
a
panels.
cleaning solution, our Arcadis branded cleaning
Okay.
solution.
So for this 3,
that
it's only meant for is a
in part of the
25
transition of
mm drop
firefighting
and
foams,
this S2.
you have to clean out the pipes,
Okay.
and this
Let me
resolves
go
the
to
PFOS that
section.
has stuck to
Okay,
the
I
interior of the pipes.
see.
So
Okay,
what are
from
we doing
here,
in Asia?
I already
So
select S2, right? Because it's actually
what
my,
we're in
uh,
Asia right now,
my,
because the
private
regulatory
attribute.
environment
Okay,
hasn't
originally,
set a very clear standard
actually
yet.
at the
You know,
top slab.
there's the lack of
the
screening
tipping point
criteria,
is 3.4.
a regulatory
There will
environment
be a
that
drop
is
of
pushing
25 mm.
industry
Do I
away
need to
from
add,
the PFOS
do I
group
need
of
to put
chemicals. We're seeing
floor bottom
a
elevation
lot of our companies,
minus
a lot of our clients trying to,
0.025,
asking us
or I
questions.
need
We
to
understand
put
that
it
PFOS
floor
is
bottom elevation
globally
plus
problematic. We want to implement
0.025.
sustainability.
Okay, leave
We
me
want
a
to
message in the chat box.
ensure that we're
Do I
providing
need
the
to
best
put it
possible
minus,
products
or do I need to
to
put
our
it
own
plus
to our own
0.025?
clients and
There is a drop.
and individuals.
Okay, I give you a hint. What I want is this.
So where
That
we're trying to
is a
help
drop,
them with that
25 mm.
is
Okay,
looking at
this
this
is my
idea of
original
taking
floor bottom
PFOS
elevation.
out of part of their life
Do I need
cycle.
to minus
You know,
0.025?
It's very
or need to
difficult
add
to look at a
0.025?
site and say, well, your soil is contaminated. We have to.
Alright, everyone got the same point. Okay, so remember, you need to select this panel and double click on it, minus 0.025, and we press enter. Okay, then you can zoom in and see there is a drop 25 mm generated up. Okay, similarly, I press escape. Okay, I press escape. I select this, the last panel. Okay, so anyone can tell me is it I need to minus 0.025 or plus 0.025 or minus any other value? Oh, Chong. All right. Okay, Chong already give us the answer. You are right, Chong. In fact, you need to minus 0.025 and minus again 0.025. It will be minus 0.05. Right? You need to minus 2 times. If you only minus 1 times, okay, as you can see, I minus 1 time, it will still don't have the drops yet. Okay, I need to minus 1 more time, 0.025, which is equals to minus 0.05. Okay, Chong got it right. So if you can see, if you correct it, there you go. You have a 25 mm from the first panel to the second panel. Second panel, another further level down, 25 mm. Right? Able to get the drops? If you're able, leave me a message. Drop. Okay? Leave me a message. Drop here. All right. Yep. Jadi. Drops. How about others? Find any difficulties? You want me to repeat again? All right, all right. If you want me to repeat again, let me know, yeah? Okay, if not, I'm going to proceed to another element. Okay, may I ask, the 83.35 means what? All right. Okay. You still remember just now in the floor settings, the bottom elevation, this one, this floor bottom elevation is represent 83.4, right? It will be this bracket, it will be the final value of it. It means 83.4 minus 0.05. Then you will get 83.35. It will be in this, okay, in this bracket. So the bracket that means is actually our final value of it, final value of the elevation. All right, okay. Seems like you guys got it. Okay, one more time. Okay, how am I going to show everything, the entity? Okay, I go to this entity display setting. I select all elements. Okay, I want to see everything now. Okay, so now what we have column, we have beam, we have slab. Okay, what are the things that we miss off? There will be our wall. Correct. See your comment and my voice speak out at the same time. It's good. It's good. Right. So for wall, what are the wall that we're looking at? Okay, we're actually looking at from this structural drawing. We don't have any wall already, right? In fact, no. At the top here, we have some RC wall. Okay, and this is pool, as what we call it as a swimming pool. Right, as a swimming pool. Okay. So for the swimming pool wall, similarly, the step goes back to number 1. We're back to the wall. Okay. For your personal preference, you want to open everything also can, but it might quite confusing. Right. I will recommend you to close off whatever element that not necessary. Okay. Easy for us to refer. Okay. For this one, wall. Okay. I click on this wall number 1. All right. So now I know that I have the wall, which is our swimming pool wall, is in this shape. Right. Now, let us practice for the manual method. Okay. Don't we try the manual method. For the later the brick wall, we use the auto identify. Right. Okay. So from here, this structural engineer make a big mistake. Okay. Maybe he didn't input in anything. Okay, he actually input in the wording. I don't know. It's actually 150. Okay, it's 150. Okay. Now I know it will be 150. So now I can just click on it on the new wall, irregular or parametrics. Parametrics by default preset in the software. All right, and irregular. Irregular wall, as I said, you can select from the AutoCAD, or you can draw it. You can draw it freely. For example, this kind of wall. I also don't know why this kind of wall I'm actually drawing it. Okay, I just draw and let you see. You can actually perform this kind of wall modeling. Okay, this is from plan. Then from the section, you're able to see this kind of irregular shape, and this kind of shape easily for you to get the quantity for the volume. Don't worry about that. Okay, so this is the thing. Actually, the actually brings you easy for you to do the measurement for the or irregular shape. Right. So for wall, okay, we use for the normal wall. Okay, for this normal wall, the first one, the name, I want to change it to swimming pool wall. Okay, for swimming pool wall, is it brick wall or it have to be a structural wall? Right, this one is very important. Yeah, sea wall. So this one category, very important. We need to select for the structural wall. Okay, instead of that, we have non-structural brick wall, partition wall, dry wall, etc. Okay, you can add. Okay, this one I put it into structural wall. Then the material will be in situ concrete. It will be exterior wall because it's a swimming pool wall, right? Oh no, no, no. I need to create this one. It's not this one. Swimming pool wall. And the category will be structural wall. Yeah, it will be exterior wall, right? And the thickness, just now we measure it from the drawing, is 150. Okay, so let us try. Okay, let us try to draw it. Okay, we can use a draw tab, we use line function. Okay, let us try from the top left corner. Okay, from the top left corner. Okay, I need to close my random point. Point it. If you put open the orthogonal will be very useful for you. Okay, it should be fill in the blank for you. Come back to the question. End to end or center to center. By default, it will be end to end or center to center. Also, no worry if you put it center to center. All right. Try to zoom in, and you can see. Zoom in. Here. Right. And then at the end, come back to the same point. And then right click to exit. Did we need to set the floor elevation height first? Don't worry, Bong. Don't worry. You just draw it out first. You draw it out first. It's a good question, Bong. You actually identify where is the question I'm coming from. In fact, I'm going to ask a question about this. Right, don't worry. Just draw it. Draw the RC wall first. Okay, draw this RC wall. Right. Okay. I've done all the walls, right? You've done all the walls. Give me a wall, RC wall. Okay, RC wall message. Let me know. Let me know. All right. RC wall, RC wall. Okay, cool. How about others? Yes. All right. So just now Bong is actually already highlight out. Okay, everyone can see what is the not logical way if you see your model in 3D, your swimming pool wall. Is that correct position for your swimming pool wall? Yes or no? Shouldn't be full height, okay. There will be one answer. No, right? Okay, swimming pool wall. Where is my swimming pool wall? Okay, swimming pool wall will be my underground, below ground. Yeah, correct. Yes, everyone got the concept right. So what we're going to do, we're going to select the wall and then change the elevation. Either way, Okay, just now Bong is actually highlighting out is very good things is whether I need to select, I need to set the elevation first, only I draw the wall, or I draw the wall first, I select and I adjust it, the elevation. Both ways you can do it, no worry. I just want to show you how you can actually do it. Okay, so now let me go back. I need to know what is the height of it. Okay, so in fact, let me open my Archi drawing. Okay, so you can see my Archi drawing, the slab, the FFF is 81.95. Okay, and the structural drawing for the existing ground, it will be 83.4. Right, it will be 83.4. So what we can do is, let's see, I get calculator. So 83.4 you minus 81.95, you got 1.45, right? So your length, it will be 1.45. But from here, okay, let's say I just click on this one. This one, it will be minus 1.45, right? Okay, the bottom elevation. Okay, I explain, Right, from here, as you can see, I have my top wall, it will be 2. Okay, you can see wall will be 2. Top and bottom elevation. My top supposed to be 0, meaning to be 33.4. It will be bottom elevation, right? Sorry about that. Okay, this one, suppose I need to move the whole thing down. Okay, I move the whole thing down to here. Right. So if I move the whole thing down, the start top elevation, it will be my fourth bottom elevation. Okay, it will be 83.4. And my start bottom elevation, it will be floor bottom elevation, 83.4 minus 1.45. And this one you put 83.4, meaning you have the 1.5 height of the wall. Right? Making sense, right? So now, if I should put here, okay, either way, floor bottom elevation is 7.4, right? You minus 4, okay, it cannot be, okay, or you should choose floor bottom elevation, enter. It will be say invalid top elevation. You cannot be less than the bottom elevation. It cannot be 0, okay? So I need to amend the bottom one first. I minus 1.45. Once I enter the extension to 1.45 to below. Okay, so for start top elevation, you have two methods. Either you add floor top elevation 87.4, you minus 4, okay, or you straight away choose floor bottom elevation. Alright, you straight away choose floor bottom elevation. Then you can see you already change this one. Okay, change to this position. Everyone clear on the concept of the elevation? Yes? Right? So, I only select once, right? Then you will ask me, hey, Sam, it's very confusing. If I add this elevation, I need to select one by one, or I will wrongly select the column also. How am I going to do that? Right? So I would like to introduce to you another function, which is what we call batch select. Okay, whatever thing just now I draw this swimming pool wall in wall element is what we call swimming pool wall, right? Okay, if you notice at the top left corner, I have a batch function. Okay, if I select the batch, okay, and then I can select the element that I created in this particular floor, in this ground floor. I will have my wall, and this is my swimming pool wall. And then I just click on OK. And there you go. All the swimming pool wall entity names is appeared. Okay, it's actually appeared and also been selected. Okay. Okay. So now you can see, you will ask me again, hey, Sam, why there is a question mark here? The question mark here is actually determine the uneven value of the elevations between all these walls, because I already changed this particular wall, right? So it will be uneven, it will read as question marks. If I deselect, okay, if I just left click and deselect this wall, it will back to this. It will be very uniform elevation for the remaining walls. What I need to do, I do the same thing just now. I minus 1.45, and then the start top elevation, I change to floor bottom elevation. Enter. Then there we have, okay, there we have the swimming pool wall below the ground level. Okay, in this, I actually introduce you two things. The first is you can use batch. You can use batch to batch select the entity with the same entity name. Okay, and then if there is the information not uniform, is uneven. Okay, not uniform, there will be a question mark shown in the attribute editor. Right? Okay, from here, everyone able to do for the swimming pool wall? Yes, give me a yes comment. Okay, reply a yes for me. Yes, can repeat. Okay, no problem, I can repeat. One moment. Okay, right. Xiaomei. Okay, so currently, just now, already, once we already do the modeling for the swimming pool wall, we left this height, but we want to change the elevation of it. Okay, in terms of, because this is swimming pool, I want it to be below ground, and my ground level is actually 83.4, and this is the ground level. My ground level is 83.4, right? Right. So I need to move everything to below the ground, and the height is 1.5 meter. Okay, so my point at this tip, this top elevation is to be 83.4, and this bottom, it will be 83.4 minus 1.5. Am I right? Okay, so what I need to do is I need to select it. If I select only one, okay, I need to floor bottom elevation by default 83.4. I need to minus 1.45, enter, then it will be longer. Okay, and then from the start top elevation, I can choose for floor bottom elevation, which is 83.4. Okay, then there you go. Okay, and I also saying that if you want it to select one by one, it will be confusing. I will be accidentally select the column. What you can do, you can go to this batch. Okay, you find the swimming pool wall. The name, it will be specifically same as what we inputted in the element list. Okay, I click on this swimming pool wall, click on OK. Right, once I click on it, the information is not equally same. That's why it will be have this question mark here. Okay, because the elevation for the remaining wall is 87.4, and the bottom is 83.4, right? But this particular wall, this one is 83.4, and the below one is 80, I think it's 82 point something. Okay, so it's actually uneven. What you can do is I can untick, meaning I deselect, I left click on it, so it will come back to the uniform information. Okay, similarly, I can straight away at the start bottom elevation and minus 1.45. Enter. You can see the remaining one also be extended. And the start top elevation, I need to I need to select the floor bottom elevation, right, to become 83.4. Okay, there you go. So you will have this swimming pool below our ground level. Is that okay, Xiaomei? All right, Xiaomei, is that okay? If you're okay, maybe leave me a message. Yes. Okay. Right. No worry. Okay. So the next thing. Okay. I would like to ask for swimming pool part. Are we done? Are we done for the swimming pool part? Or we have something left out? Anyone can answer for me. For swimming pool part, I have the wall. Is that everything I already complete? Yes. Martin and Ed, yes. Do I know how to move the 3D models? Okay, right. Okay, Helen, right. Okay, for this 3D, right? Okay, there are a few things. Okay, if you click on this 3D, if you see, if your mouse is actually if your cursor inside the circle, okay, you are able to move the direction. Okay, you can zoom in, you can move the direction. If your cursor at outside, you are actually changing the rotation. Okay, you are actually changing the rotation. If left click and press. Okay? If your cursor inside, you can actually move it. Okay, you can see the differences. The cursor inside and outside will be changing. All right. Okay, for Xiaomei, may I know floor bottom elevation minus how much? Okay. Yeah, 1 moment. For floor bottom elevation, you have to minus 1.45. Okay, you need to minus 1.45. Okay, you need to minus 1.45. Why? Because when I see this drawing, my FFL of my swimming pool slab is 81.95, and the original is 83.4. 83.4 minus 81.95 will be 1.45, so you will get the length of it. Right, Xiaomei? No problem, Helen. Xiaomei, let me know if you've done your walls, okay, because we're going to do the exciting part, which is our slab. So for Xiaomei, the floor bottom elevation, for top elevation. Okay, so for the top elevation, for start top elevation, it will be floor bottom elevation. It will be equals to floor bottom elevation. You don't need to minus anything. Okay, because I want it to be 83.4, which is my tip point of my ground floor. My axis grid and my drawing is actually located at the bottom elevation of each floor. Yeah. Get it? No problem. Tae Xiang, can we generate the RCO at the foundation level? Right. Tae Xiang, you are able to do so. You are able to do so, but all the concept, it will be changed. Right. It will be not minus, it will be addition. Okay, it will be addition. You can go to your foundation floor and all your RC wall, it will be changing. In fact, you also cannot do so because we don't have the drawing. We don't have the indication line for the foundation layouts that have the swimming pool. It actually depends. If the entities, if the CAD line shown you at your first ground floor, please maybe you can put it in the ground floor. If in the foundation floor you want to put it, also can, but the concept will be slightly different. You need to add instead of you minus the bottom elevation. Right? Okay. So let us go to the swimming pool slab. Yes, you guys got it. We lack of one slab, which is swimming pool slab. Let us go to the slab. In situ slab, I need to create another slab. I put it as a swimming pool slab. Right? So for swimming pool slab, I assume is 135 mm thick, 125 mm thick. I assume it. Okay. So this one, still remember, is an enclosed place. I just use point function, so the way point it. Okay? If you point it, if you're able to point it, okay? So is it everything is done? Do I need to change anything? Or is that okay already? Everything is clear. We have slab and we also have the wall. Right? Whoa. CIII, right? Correct. You are in the right path. Okay, everyone. So if you see your 3D, okay, this here comes the function in 3D. You can view the 3D. You see the logic way. In fact, this is not logic. Okay, my slab. Okay, if possible, is actually at top of my swimming pool. All right. Okay, what I need to do, I need to select my swimming pool. Okay, and let it close my column. I need to select my swimming pool slab. Okay, and the elevation, I need to minus 1.45. Enter. Here you go. Okay, you need to select the slab because it's the private attribute, and then you minus at the top elevation. You double click. You minus 1.45. Right. So are you able to adjust the elevation? If you are able, tell me, is that correct? Okay, is that correct? Or you have something missed out? Okay, let's see your model 3D. Okay, let's see closely your model 3D. Okay, any one of you? Right, Elaine, change the wall height. Okay, right, instead of, okay, it's happy that you guys are able to view, okay, visualize it, what is the differences. Okay, instead of you change the wall height, no, okay, you actually can just change the, you can actually change the floor. Okay, yeah, you can change the wall height, okay, or you have to change the wall height to 1.325. Everyone is getting the correct, right? Because if I change the elevation, I make it upwards, it will not become 1.95 already. It will have this wrong information. It's not 81.95, right? You all are right. Okay, this is a trap. I set it up for you guys. Okay, so from this one, I need to go back to my batch. I need to select back my wall, drop down, select back my wall. Okay, from here, it's not 1.45. It will be 1.325. Right? If you minus 4.325, it's also wrong. Okay. In fact, you need to 1.45 have to minus another 0.125. Okay, to make it downwards to cover everything. Okay, it will be minus 1.575. Right? Everyone get the concept? Right, CIII, I think just now is 1.45, you need to minus another one. Right, is that yeah, correct? Yes. No problem. You're too excited already, maybe. Okay, so yeah, how about others? Are you able to set it? Are you able to set it, the elevation? If yes, let me know. Reply me yes. Okay, we're going to go for another one, another element. Yeah, can repeat, no problem. Okay, right. Xiaomei, right? Xiaomei. Okay, so just now the wall under the slab, right? Slab you already set minus 1.45, right? Okay, and you can see if the 3D, in fact, just now what we set for the wall elevation, right? Just now we set 83.4, we minus 1.45. okay, you get to this. In fact, you need to cover until the beneath of this slab. Okay, when you want to cover it, you need to be 83.4 minus 1.45. You need to minus another one, which is the slab own thickness. The slab thickness is actually 0.125, right? In order for you to prolong the wall thickness, right? So from here, if you're in this stage, okay, what you need to do is, similarly, as the time I mentioned, go to the batch. I click on the drop down of the wall, and I click on this swimming pool wall. I click on OK. From here, the start bottom elevation, I need to minus another 0.125. Enter. And there you go. It will extend to the beneath of our swimming pool. Okay, it will be in the level, in the same level of our swimming pool at bottom elevation. Right? You get me, Xiaomei? Yep. Sorry. All right. So from here, I think you all can personally experience this 3D view. Okay, you can view the 3D. What are the unlogical way instead for you? Okay, you can see. Right. So let me go back to my 2D. Okay, I press back to my 2D. Let us calculate, and then click on OK. So in the view expression, click on everything, and then yeah, there is few more elements we created just now. Right, for this one, save site, save the file. Okay, save the file. Yeah. If not, Vivian will cry again. Okay, please save your file. All right. Okay, we are actually almost done for the structure. Okay, for this remaining, we have still some RC. I'm not going to do that. Okay, because we will practice for that part. Okay, right. So what we have now, let me close all the layer. We already have a model. If the column, beam, slab, and also the wall, the RC wall, assuming to slab. Right. So now we also have the architectural work. Okay. For architectural works, because TAS, right? TAS is taking off for architecture and structure. Right. We already start our structure, or almost done, already done. And then we're going to import our drawing again. Okay, import our ground floor, our whole architecture drawing to it. Okay. Still remember, everyone, make a practice. Okay? Remember, at the drawing manager, we need to import our architecture drawing. Okay. Click on it and then find 01A, revise architecture for basic training. Okay, we click on open. Right. Once you open, double click on the main drawing. Okay, it will fall under below of the upper roof. Double click on it. Are you able to open? Okay, architect, still remember how to import the drawing? So if you zoom out, what are the things that you want? Okay, the first thing what I want is, okay, please, I want to split the drawing. This is the first part, including the door and window finishes. Okay, including the door and window finishes at the ground floor plan. And also this one is my first floor, and I have this roof floor. Okay, the remaining, no need, because it's actually elevation. I don't want to see elevation. I want the layout plan. Okay, please, the first part, if you split together, Okay, you just left click and drag everything with the door and window schedule also. Don't worry about the below model. You won't be able to select. Don't worry. Second part and the third part. Okay, let's practice. How to split? The first step, the fourth button, right? Split it. Select the CAD entity. Okay, I need to zoom in. Okay, I need to left click and remain. Okay, I click on my left click and then I release my left click. Okay, I need to include my window, door and window schedule below. You don't worry about the below part. Okay, for this part, this is our, is not our CAD, so it won't be able to highlight it. You see, select it, it will become blue color, and our model is still remain unselected. Okay, right click, the name, ground floor plan. For this one, I put it key. Okay. I have first one. How about second one? Keep on highlighting. Key. And the third one. Alright, so you have another 3 drawings is being created. Key for the ground, key for the first, and key for the roof. Okay. In fact, the key for the ground we actually don't need to split lah, but I want to make you practice. Okay. For the practice, for the training purpose, our ground floor is identical with our first floor. Okay, I will show you how we can actually just copy it. We don't need to import the drawing in the first floor and re-identify everything, draw everything. Alright. I have some issue to split the drawing. Neil, are you able to share your screen? Maybe you share your screen and let me see. No problem. No, take your time. Alright. Okay. Let me press the control. Alright. Okay, so Neil, this is your drawings, right? So first of all, you might need to click on the split drawing. Okay, you have to select, let's say I left click and drag everything. You save your file first. Okay. I reselect again. Okay, so you can just put the ground floor and then you rename it as a key. Click on OK. Yeah, so there you go. You will have the key for the first one. Already have this one. Okay, the remaining one, I give you a bonus. Okay, I hit another thing for you. Okay, just left click and drag, right click, and then you hit, and then you rename it as this is key. Okay, so yeah, the final one, the third one, maybe you can practice. This one, the third one, you can practice for that. Right, Neil? All right, Helen, I have an issue to add the drawing. Helen, are you able to share your screen? No worry, thank you. Yep, Helen. Here comes Helen's screen. All right. Okay. Right. In this case, I actually know what is happening. Okay. Let me request a control. Yeah. Okay. From here, you can see this one, right? This number. You can just scroll to the most left. Okay. In fact, we actually add quite a lot of drawing. We actually add quite a lot of drawing. Let me delete for you the drawing. Right. Let me delete for you. Right, here you go, your drawing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is the drawing. Okay, I do it once for you. Okay, you try and see later on. Left click on display, and then I left click and drag everything, including the release and right click. And then key. Key. Okay. Okay. So it will be created this below here. Okay, so you can do it for the remaining two. Right, Helen? Thank you, Helen. All right, maybe. No problem, Helen. So, okay, remember, you will need to have these three layout separate up, okay, split it out, yeah? Okay. Give you another maybe few more seconds, okay, to complete the splitting part. Others, how about others? Have you done split? If you are done split, give me a comment, give me a reply, split, okay, splitted. All right, let me know you've been split drawing. All right. Seems like you are still familiar with the function, huh? Okay, that's good. Okay, so I shall proceed, all right? I shall proceed to the next one. So I still remain at my ground floor, okay? I want to open my Archi ground floor, okay? I double click on it. Once I double click on it, my Archi ground floor plan is actually not together. Okay, what I need to do? I need to relocate it. Click on relocate. I don't want to open my random point. Okay, and then I can point my first point, my base point on my CAD drawing, and then locate the point to my 9A intersection. Singing so far, relocate. Right, already done relocate. Okay, I think most of you still remember the step here. Relocate. Okay. Yeah, correct. After you done relocate, correct? Well, yes. After you done relocate, everything you see, everything is in accordance. This is the function of the axis grid. Right? Bear in mind. Okay. So from now, what I need to do is because it's too confusing, all the element is actually hiding all my drawings layer. Okay. What I need to do is maybe I go to the entity display. I off all the element. Okay, only I open the axis grid. Okay, only I open the axis grid. Click on OK. Okay. Don't worry, everything entity display is hide. It's not actually deleted. It's actually been hide. We can't see from naked eye, but in fact the quantity wise is actually already catered for. Right. So from now, what we can see from architecture drawing, just now this one, let us see. Architecture, we have architecture finishes, and we will have the brick wall. All this is our brick wall. Okay, I draw it as our brick wall. Okay, this is swimming pool wall. We already done. No need about that. So now what we need to do is I need to do for my masonry, which is our brick wall, and also I have door and window opening attached to the brick wall. Right. Now, what we need to do? Okay, we already have this drawing. Okay, already relocate. Everything is put in nicely. Then what we can do is we need to go back to the wall. Click on this wall. Right, can, no problem. Okay, so the relocate, still remember, yeah? The relocate, this is the second button. Okay, the second button is our relocate button. I click on it, specify the base point. Okay, I zoom in, I find the architectural drawing, the intersection of 9A intersection point. I left click, and then I zoom out, and I move my mouse. You will see a white box is being moved together as well. Okay, I need to find the 9A intersection of the axis grid that we created just now. Okay, and then just left click on it. All right, no problem. Welcome. Right, so the next thing, wall. We go back to our wall. I need to create my wall element. So for this time, just now the RC wall, you already learned how to do the manual part, right? It's actually by line. Okay. Let us try the interesting part, which is the auto identifying part. Go to the identify. Okay. There are a few things you need to do. In fact, just now the RC wall, right? You can actually pick the concrete wall sideline, but I didn't let you do it because I want you to do it in the masonry wall only. Okay, you can do it in real practice. You can do it for concrete wall and masonry wall. All right. So for this one, there are a few things you need to pick. Okay. First one, I need to pick the brick wall sideline. I pick the brick wall sideline. I need to pick the door and window sideline. This is the door and this is the window indicated, and then the pick label, I need to pick the label that we have in the drawing and we auto identify it. 4 steps, yeah? Okay. Together with me, everyone. Okay. Ready? The first steps, okay, at the drop down, I need to select pick masonry wall sideline. I left click on it. Okay. Make sure it's actually pick masonry wall. Masonry wall is our brick wall. Select by layer. Okay. I zoom in. Okay, I zoom in. I select the side line of the brick wall. Okay, I select the side line. Let's say at this D7, I select the side line. Okay, I select the side line. Okay, make sure all the line is turned into blue color. Okay, make sure all the line is turned into blue color, yeah. And then you right click to confirm. The brick wall line is already being selected. Okay, done the first step, yeah. Second step, pick door and window side line. Left click on it. Okay, you need to pick the door legend, okay, the door legend, and also the window. Window you pick on the on this middle part of the green line. Okay, door and window is being picked. Okay, and then we right click. Then the next thing, pick wall label. Left click, and we can just pick the wall label 110. Okay, 110 mm brick wall. Right click, and then we just click on auto identify. Suggested to draw the column before identify, and then click on yes. All right. So can you view your 3D? Right? Okay. So now the 3D comes, here comes the checking part. If you can see, just now I identify, it's actually auto generate these few walls. In fact, this one is actually our swimming pool wall. Okay. How is you can just on 2D, you can just click on it. You can just press delete. Okay. And even here, this wall actually been extended to here. In fact, no need. It will be only until this point, right? So here we have
What's wrong?
for others. We know. Or you guys still trying to get your brick wall by using this method?
Can you replace the brick wall step?
Yes, can, no problem. One moment. All right. So I repeat again. For me to repeat, one moment. Let me delete all my wall first. Okay. In order everything's right. First thing, here comes the restore pick cat entity. So I want to again, I need to restore back this my brick wall plus the to the and also okay. So I will stop. Okay. All right. So now, okay. The first step at this pick, okay, at the drop down, you need to pick masonry wall sideline. Okay. I left click once. Okay. I can select, for example, this portion. I can just left click once. Then all it become blue color, been selected. I just right click. Okay. Second part, pick door and window sideline. I pick my door, legend, and my window. This is my window. Okay. Right click. And then I pick my wall label. Okay. From the left hand side, there is a 110 mm thick board wall. Right click. And then I just auto identify it. Okay, and then open back all my layers. Right. How about others? Are you able to get your brick wall? If yes, leave me a brick wall. Okay. If you are still trying, don't worry, because the brick wall part is actually quite confusing because too many lines for you to see. Right. So yes, you can see. So the 3D, let me see. Okay, something that I know got one. Okay, it generates the brick wall at my above my swimming pool wall, which is not reasonable. Okay, I just select and I press on delete. And also for this part, I just shorten it. Okay, here. So there you go. There you have it. Right? Okay. Are you guys able to get the brick wall? Able, right? Okay. So for the brick wall, you have few things. The next thing you need to taking care of also, right? We actually have an interior or exterior wall, right? But for this auto identify method, it's actually read as all the wall is actually internal wall. Okay, all is actually internal wall. What we want is we want to separate into internal and external wall, right? We need to separate internal and external wall. Therefore, when we get the quantities for the external wall finishes, right? You will have finishes, we split into internal and external finishes. Okay, so what we can do, how we can do in order for us to separate into two. Okay, so from here, as you can see, okay, if you see for 3D, this one, the whole part, this part, we can still change it to 2D external. Okay, maybe for the name here, you can select and then you put it as external. But before that, you will find something, for example, this wall. Okay, this wall, it will be half is external and another half is internal. Okay, we cannot straight away just select it. What we need to do is we need to check one by one. For example, this one, this wall. You still remember the break function? Okay, we can just select the entity, okay, and just press on the break, okay, to break at the center to break it apart. Right click. Okay, so later on you're able to select half of it. Okay, half of the brick wall. Okay, so everyone please find the wall. Okay, please find the wall. Okay, in fact this one. Okay, this one also. Okay, this one we can break it into half. Okay, and also for example this one. And then break it into half. And this as well. Right? So try to break it into half for later we're going to change the category of the wall to become external wall. Right, from here, this one also need to change. Give your 5 minutes to change it, yeah? 5 minutes to change it. We use the break function, okay? I show you guys one more time. For example, this one, this whole stretch I want it to become this 2. Okay, you can use break function to break into 2. Okay, once I click on it, select the entity, right click to confirm, I select the breaking point and right click to confirm. Okay, similar thing, this one I need to select, right click, select the breaking point, right click. This one okay. This one as well, right click. Okay. And this one also, right click, right click. No worry guys, it takes some time, okay? No worry about that. And so in this case, if you want to select your wall, right, better for you to close the element select, and you're at wall, you're only able to select your wall. Okay, you're only able to select a wall in 2D. Okay, you can see here. Right. If you already break and you select the external wall, okay, you already select it, okay. You wait, we wait for the others, okay. I'm going to explain to you in further what we need to do, right? If you're not sure how to break, you want me to explain one more time, you let me know. Yeah? If not, I will assume you are actually doing the breaking part, okay? And you're actually selecting the parameter of the external wall. Are you done breaking already? Are you done? If you are done breaking and also select the external wall, okay, leave me a message. Break, okay, let me know. Break, okay, let me know. I'm going to explain on the further. No worry, we will wait. No worries, Yawan. No worry. We do it together. No problem. right, everyone. Right. So yeah, great. Let's see. Right. So yeah, if you already done break and also select the external wall already, right? Okay. Few things you need to make it clear of. The first thing is remember, because we're actually selecting the 150 mm. Okay. If you accidentally select these few parts, these 3 parts, okay, it will be a question marks in the thickness. It will be question mark in the thickness, yeah. Okay, so remember, don't select the 100 mm because that one is 100 mm. Okay, so yeah, you have this one already have. How about others already done break? Okay, let me see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 persons. Others, are you able to break it? And also select the external of the wall. Don't worry, Xiaowei. No, don't worry about that. Right? So if others are also in the same page, okay, once you select it, okay, remember, once you select it, what I want is, I want it to be external, okay? This one, I put it as external, okay? And the name here, once I select everything, I put it as external, MS Wall 150 external, right? And I click on enter. And then you will see another list, another element in the list already, external. And then it's the brick wall, is an external wall. Okay, and I want to differentiate internal, external by color. Okay, similarly, drop down, not drop down, scroll down, go to the display style. Okay, in the fill color, let's say you can choose another color, for example, any other color. So I put this color, and then I just press on escape. Right, so there you go. You will have your difference in terms of color to differentiate your external and internal wall. How about this? 150. Okay, this one you can actually double click and you can bracket internal. Okay, everything will be changed back to internal. Okay, are you able to change the color of the internal and external? Because actually in terms of finishes we will have different in terms of differentiation of the quantity in the finishes. And also you can see this one, I make a mistake on it. In fact, this one is actually external, right? I need to change it back to external. Yeah, I have external. And I changed it back to the color I want. Right, so there you go. There you will have all the brick wall. Okay, we are not done yet. Okay, we are not done yet. Everyone already done for the brick wall, right? External, internal one, right? Okay, further level down, we will have opening. We have door and window opening and our brick wall. Okay, this one is a very important one. Okay, before we leave for today's training, this will be our last element. Okay, I'm going to teach you for door and window. Okay. So remember just now when we already identify peak and door sideline, right? But what we need is, we need to create the element in the element list first, right? So in the door and window, similarly in door and window, okay, everyone in door and window, right? Okay, please go to the door and window opening element. Originally it's blank. That is nothing. Okay, that is nothing. Okay, what we need now, okay, what we need now is we still stick back to identify tab. You will see there's identify door and window schedule. Okay, door and window schedule, right? So from here, we can just click on this door and window schedule. Right, everyone, are you guys ready for door and window? Yes. Right, so let us continue together. At door and window opening, at the identify tab, because I want to identify this door and window schedule that I already split in this ground floor plan. Okay, I want to get all the information, name, the width times the height information. Okay, so from here, I click on identify door window schedule. Left click, and then status asks you to select door and window schedule to identify. And left click, drag everything. Okay, and then right click to confirm. Okay, it will come up to the identify door and window schedule window. Are you guys able to come up with this identify door and window schedule? If yes, leave me a comment. Yes, let me know, because we're actually in door and window. Okay, this one. All right. Okay, so we're in here. Right. In fact, you can see, you can select the data, the CAD data. This is just now what we do. We select the CAD data. In fact, if you have the Excel, you're also able to import the Excel, okay, to become in this page. Right. And then I would like to emphasize to you some things. The first part, the first row is actually identify each of the column title, okay, each of the column title that we have now. Okay, so now the first one, this is the name. From the drop down, we can actually have the name, width and height, summary info, and remarks. Okay, this is the name. The second part is W times H. It will be void, width times the height. Third part, remarks. Fourth, the types. Fifth will be the corresponding floor. This one by default, it will set by default. It will be in zone. Don't worry. So, what are the things that I don't require? Okay, you can identify, is there any other rows that are not required? Okay, let me know if you can see what are the rows that are not required. Okay, is that row number 2? How about row number 3, everyone? Because row number 3, the information already duplicated in my first row, right? So in fact, this row number 2 and 3, I might not need it anymore. Correct, you're right. So I can just, similar to Excel, I can add this at the front here. All right, boom, no worry. Okay. First of all, okay, you need to click on identify door and window. You select everything, and then you right click. Right, you will come to this interface, door identify door and window schedule. Right, so from this interface, you will have few things. The first row, it will be our title, our column title of the particular column. Okay, for the first one, this one will be our name. In fact, in the drawing, it indicates as a code. Okay, it's actually our name. In the software, on the drop down, we can put it as a name. Right. Second part, width times with the height. Remarks, height, and also corresponding. The corresponding floor, by default, it was set by the software, auto-generated. Right. So now, we already have the name for each of every column. Now I want to delete some things. Row number 2 and 3, it will be not applicable already. Okay, we already have the information for our first row. Okay, so now I can just, as like Excel, I can just select the whole rows for 2 and 3. I can straight away right click and I can just delete the row. Right? Are you sure you want to delete? Yes. Okay. And the second part is the remarks. This column, I did not need it anymore. I can just click on this cell, this whole row column, and then anywhere, I can just right click and I delete the column. Okay, similar to Excel function. Delete the column. Are you sure you want to delete the column? Okay. So you have remaining 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So from this, you will have D. D is our door. W is our window. Okay, so from here, if there is door, the information here, it will bring directly to this element list. Okay, it will bring directly to the element list later on after we identify. Okay, once you delete the rows and column, or we already all set, okay, then we click on this identify. Okay, let us click together. Okay, once I click it, you can see I will have 9 doors, 15 windows identified. And the element list here is appeared according to the name they are identified. D1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the below DC1, DC2, and D7. Right? Click on OK, and then you just close it. Okay? And you can see from door, you will have element at the element list. Window also have the element list. Right? So do you have your element generated being identified in the element list, in the door and also window element? Yes? If yes, give me a yes. Yes, Chong. All right. Celine, Elaine. Elaine, okay. All right. Oh, yes. All right. So we only identify in the element list. How am I going to point it one by one? Are you going to point it one by one using the draw tab, and then you point it one by one to your wall? Okay. This is the way you can do it, or you don't need to do it that way. You can just identify. Just now, the first step already identified the door window schedule. And we don't need to pick the window and door side line, because just now when we identify the brick wall, we already picked the door and window side line. Still remember? Yeah? Then you can straight away pick the door window label. Okay, the next step is we straight away left click, okay, door window label. We zoom in, for example, this C6, I just left click on it. So all the remaining label is being selected, and then I right click. Okay, it will be hidden, it will be in pick. And then last but not least, I just click on auto identify. Click on auto identify. Identification completed with 26 doors and window opening identified in total. Okay. So if you see on your 3D, all the door and window with the label correctly, it will be generated out. You can see all the door and window is being generated out accordingly. Are you able to generate a door and window? If yes, leave me a comment. Door. Okay. Maybe DW lah. DW. All right. Yes, DW. Okay, door. DW and door. Yeah, how about Bong? How are you? Are you able to get your door and window as well? Yes, all right. So from here, we're not done yet, huh? We're not done yet. One more thing. Sorry about that. One more thing, which is when we have opening, okay? If we have opening at our structural wall, we no need to have our lintel, right? If I have the opening, door and window opening at my brick wall, do I need to have my lintel? By right, yes. Win link, okay, no problem. One moment, one. Okay, so from just now, once you already identify the door window, right, okay, you can straight away skip for this step. Okay, just now we already identify it. Okay, we can straight away pick door and window label. You click on it. Okay, you click on door and window label, and then you click on, for example, C6 or C5, and then you right click. Okay, you right click and then you click on auto identify. Then there will be the door and window attached to the wall. Right? Let me know if you're able to generate out, yeah. Wong Jun. Oh, I I still can get it. Junho, do you mean you can't get it, right? Right, okay. Maybe, okay, never mind. Maybe can you share your screen? Let me have a look on your model. Right, let me share your screen. Let me see here. Right. One moment, guys. Once Junho get the door and window. Right. Okay. Let me see. Right. Maybe have a precursor control, yeah. Right. Okay, so you have the door and window. Let me see. Okay, right. So from here, okay, all right. So when you already identify at the element list, right? The next thing you can straight away pick door and window label. Okay, you try to click on this one, pick door and window label. Okay, and then you scroll in. Okay, you zoom in and you click for C6, maybe this one, C6. Okay. Okay, and then you right click and then you auto identify. Identification complete, 36. Go with it. Okay. Okay. You zoom up and see the 3D. Yeah, there you go. All right. Thank you, Junho. Okay, right. So, right, the very last thing before we left from day one, we end from day one, right? So yeah, the first not the first, the last thing. Okay, the last thing it will be our lintel. Okay, it will be our lintel. As you can see, we already have the opening, door and window opening, right? Okay, so in the lintel is actually under same category at door and window opening here. It's actually at here, the lintel. Okay, so the lintel, we no need to point one by one. Okay, in fact, you're also able to point it one by one. Okay, or you can actually arrange it. If there is opening, then there will be a lintel generated out. Okay, this is the function we can actually auto arrange it. Right? So now let us go to lintel. Okay, if I go to lintel, for example here, if I create a new rectangle lintel, also I can use a manual way to point it manually. Okay, this is the manual method. Okay, I can point it manually by using point. But I don't want it to be to done it. Okay, I can straight away. Okay, the attribute editor information as per the general notes. If not, I will just leave it as it is. Right. Straight away, you can see. Okay, this is what we call auto arrange. Okay, in the drop down, there will be the first one, door, window opening, ribbon opening, or there will be width of door and window opening. Okay, for the first one, it means if you have door and window opening, they will be generated lintel. The second one, you can set a classification, and let me show you. For example, if can set, for example, from 0 opening until 1005 mm, there will be this lintel 1 generated up. Maybe for 1005, maybe for 1006 until 2000, you have another lintel size. It depends on your project. Okay, normally the lintel it will be similar lah. It will be typically similar one. Right. So for this one, I will let you to practice on this lintel 1. On the auto arrange, click on the first drop down list. Okay, the first one, door and window opening. Okay, and then it will ask you to select the entity. Okay, this one I will need you to zoom up, okay, as more as possible. Select the entity, left click, and I drag everything in the model. And then I right click to confirm. Okay, let us zoom in and see what is the changes that we have. You can see all the door and window opening, we will have our lintel already. Right? We have our lintel already. Can you guys get it? If you can get, reply me lintel. Okay? If you can get, reply me lintel. Yep, I will repeat again, don't worry. Okay, so now, boom, right? See, first, I create the lintel with the necessary information here. Right, the next thing, okay, in the drop down of this auto arrange, okay, at the draw tab, there is a drop down for this. Okay, you can select for this door window opening, ribbon opening, and ribbon opening. If you left click on it, there will be a status ask you to select entities. Okay, I zoom out to its smallest, and then I straight away select everything in regards. Okay, I select everything, and then I just right click to confirm. Okay, and then I just right click to confirm. Then you will see there will have the lintel attached. Are you able to generate out? Oh, okay, nice. Right. Before we end, okay, this one. For example, this. You can see the length of start point and end point. If you're not sure about this, okay, let me, for example, this one I put it 500. Okay, this one is actually indicate this is the start point, this is the end point. This is the start, and this is the end. And also just now I put 500, it protrude 500 mm up, and this is only 250 mm. Right? If I select maybe 1000, also it will be protrude up. Okay, in fact they will be not much longer lah. So this is the start and end point. Okay, so for today's, let me open everything, the entities, we are okay. For today's, what we have done, we create a project, we import the drawings, right? One moment, okay, let us, what about the corner window at BC9? It is not created, how to create it? Okay, BC9, okay. This BC9, okay, you got a good catchy eye, right? BC9, why it's not being created? Reason being, if you can, let me close off everything. If you can see from the drawing, yes, indeed, it's actually a window, but you will find that it don't have a label for it, right? And the software, it will not identify if there is no window, and there is not label for it. And also, there's some discrepancy, and this is the thing, if you can encounter it, you might need to make sure with the architect, what are the code for this particular window, and then only you're able to do the model inside, right? I would like to suggest to you is, you can make sure with the architect, what are the code, window code, and if the window code is not in the window schedule, please revise the window schedule. Meanwhile, you can actually add the window in the window list, and then you can just point it, right? So if the information is there, it will automatically generate. Yes, you're right. Correct. You're right. Right. So if there is no information, that's it. it won't generate out. All right. Okay. All right. So yeah, I back to my summarize. Okay. Today we import the drawings. What we do is we import the drawings, and then we scale the drawing, we split the drawings, and we relocate the drawing to the axis grid line that we have. And in the column, what we do is we use the manual method by using point and also rotation point to change the direction, and even F4 for the insertion point. Okay, for the F4 is not only for the column, applicable for all elements, right? And we also even learn for pick, sightline, label, identify for the column. The next thing, we also identify for the beam, okay, identify for the beam, pick, sightline, label, and identify. Whether or not you want it to be center to center, or you want it to be make it full, okay, to come overlap full, no problem, because the length is actually catered for the length of the center line of the beam, right? And also, we have the enclosed area of the beam. We point the slab by using point function, right? after slab, we do for our swimming pool wall. Swimming pool wall, we learn how to do the adjustment for the elevation and then the slab for the swimming pool slab. Okay, then we import our architecture drawing, we split, and then we relocate the ground floor plan. We identify the wall, the brick wall element, okay, and then we break the wall. We select the external part at it, and then we rename it as external wall. Right. The next thing is we identify the door and window schedule, okay, and then we identify it. We auto-identify it to the correct position. Last but not least, the lintel. Okay, we generate the lintel by auto-arrange. Auto-arrange means if there is any door and window, there will be a lintel that preset. Okay, so with that's it, I will conclude for today's training. Okay, day 1 training. For tomorrow, we come back. We will have a few more things. We will have a few things with architectural finishes, and also we have a foundation floor, and also we can copy all the elements to our first floor. Then we will do our project collaboration to our TRB. Right. So yeah, we have a question. Wanted to ask about the lintel. There's a beam just located at top of the door and window, so there will be no lintel for the particular door. Can capture this? In that case, it might not be able to identify it. You might need to, maybe you can use the 3D to check it. If there's not necessary, and it actually happens with the beam, you can just delete a lintel. But what I know is if there is a beam directly to the opening, it actually won't generate the lintel for it. It actually won't generate lintel. Just for the safe side, you open the 3D to check it, whether the lintel is being generated just the opening just below the beam. Yes? Right. Okay, so Molly, may I ask how to name the exterior wall after selecting all the exterior? Can I share screen? Right. Okay, no problem. Molly, you can share screen. One moment. All right. Okay, so yeah, let me request a control and see. Okay. So Molly, from here, right? If you see your 3D, everything you have. Okay, right? Right. So everyone, is additional information. If you can see Mooly's walls. On top of the wall, there is a direction. Okay, this direction actually represents the start top and also the end top, right? So if you want to make it invisible, you can just press the warm button. Okay, you press the button just left to number 1. Okay, there is a warm button. Okay, you can just press on it. Okay, so from here, for Moody case, you want to change the name. Okay, from here, you can straight away double click at the name here, and you can just bracket external. Okay, and there you go. You have this signal. How about this one? This one 150 by default, it will be internal. Okay, this one I change back to internal. And we can rename the internal wall. Okay. And one more thing I didn't do for you. Okay, you need to change the color also, right? Okay, I think you already changed the color. Okay, yeah, it's all right. Change the color. So there you go. You can actually change it. You just rename it. Okay, you just rename it. So let me see one more time. Yeah, so there you go. Already cover everything. And you also change the color already. Right, Molly? Right. Okay, Nelly, I can't create the lintel. Right, Nelly, can you share your screen? All right, let me see. You press the control from your side. All right, let's see. Okay, you already have your opening. All right, so okay, we save first for the safe side. Everyone, please save your file. Okay, let me go back to 2D. Okay, the first thing, you already create the element, right? So the first thing you need to go to the drop down, you select this door window opening, okay, and then you zoom out, you just left click and select everything, and then just right click to confirm. Then you can zoom in there. Wait. Let's see. Strange. Okay, try one more time. All right, so I select this one. Save the files. Okay. So because I was maybe I need to save your file and close it, open again now. Let me try this. Okay. Nelly, are you actually yeah, it also is a structural wall instead of a brick wall. Yeah, Nelly, maybe can you have a check? Is your wall is the structural wall? If it's a structural wall, you don't have the lintel. Maybe the wall you need to select and then reselect everything to become it as a brick wall. All right. So no problem. Wait, no problem. So it say, Celine, may I know what is the log function at the drawing manager? Right. Nelly, before this, let me explain to Celine first. So Celine, and friends, okay? So from here, if you can see, there is a lock function in the drawing manager. This one, if you lock it, okay, if you want to perform some, for example, you want to change the direction, you want to rotate it, okay? You want to rotate, you won't able to rotate. Okay, let's say I want to open it, I want to rotate, okay, I select the entity, right click, and then I'm able to rotate my drawing. Okay, I'm able to rotate my drawing freely. Okay, this is the function you can actually lock and unlock your drawings. Okay, useful for you if you want to rotate your drawings, you want to mirror it, you want to change any certain thing. Normally we just leave it closed. Okay, we just leave it closed, leave it locked. Okay, we don't open it. Right? All right. So, Nelly, how is it? You want to share your screen? Okay, no problem. So yeah, let me share you one thing. Okay, remember, still remember just now I mentioned to you on the e-community, right? This one, please register yourself because our basic certificate issue is also very depending on whether you have enrolled to our e-community. Okay, to e-community. I will share you the link. Okay, I will share the link directly. Easy for you to register it. Okay, I will show you guys the link at the chat box. Okay, show you guys the link at the chat box. The chat box here, the link is the e-community link. Okay, first thing you need to do is you need to register. Okay, please register an account for the e-community. Okay, this is also part of the requirement from the management that you need to enroll also the e-community for us to issue you the basic certificate. Please don't miss it out. Okay, please follow this link. Okay, and then register yourself in the community. Yeah, Helen, may I ask the boom symbol means the direction of how? Yeah, Helen, yeah, right. The worm symbol means the direction of the entity is being drawn. Okay, so for example, I open the worm. Okay, for example, this beam. Let's think about this wall. Okay, so this wall, you can see the direction in fact is from left to right, right? From left to right. Yeah. Oh, sorry, can't see. So sorry. Sorry about that. So sorry. Right. So for the button, right? Let me take example. For example, this swimming pool wall. As you can see, it's from left to right with the symbol right here. So it means this start top elevation, this is the start top, and this is the start bottom. And this is the end top, this is the end bottom. This is here we have start and also end terms here, right? Start and end terms here. Okay, so I hope you answer your question, Helen. Forward, Nelly, I forgot to change back to brickwork. Okay, understood. Right. So again, just now I have sent you guys the e-community links. Very important, everyone. This is also part of the requirement. Okay, please get yourself registered through this link. Okay, because even though you pass for the basic cert on the quiz as well, management might not be able to get you the certificate as well. You might need to get yourself registered for e-community. Right. Please get yourself registered. Register here, the email, password, and check your inbox to activate the account. How to register? How to register? One moment. For Elaine, does the word direction? The word direction it won't affect anything. No. Okay. The phone number don't have the KL code. For the phone number. Oh yeah, this one. I would presume you guys to register through the email instead of the mobile. will be useful for you. Okay, you can set for the email first. For the mobile, I will let them know. Okay, I will let the developer know. Okay. So sorry about that. Okay, this one I will feedback to the developer. Right, for this one. Okay, so Jeffrey, okay, so once you already register, right? Okay, once you add this email, okay, you can just insert the email password, okay. In your email address, you will need to activate it and then just click on sign up now. Then you're able to just log in to the e-com. Okay, you are just able to log into the e-com. Right. Elaine, how about the stiffener? Will be covered tomorrow. For the stiffener, it will not be covered in the syllabus. In fact, the stiffener operation step is actually quite similar to the column. Okay, actually quite similar to the column. Okay, it's actually the rectangular stiffener, round stiffener. Yeah, you will not cover. Tomorrow I can actually show you some. Don't worry. Jeffrey, I mean what to do after create the account, right? Okay, so let me go back. Yeah. So the e-community, right? If you create the account, if you have any question, remember just now the technical query that I mentioned to you. If you have any problem regarding the software, you can actually, and the question here, you can ask any question, and you have our person on duty. Okay, he will actually letting you know the solution. Okay, he will actually provide you the solution, because sooner or later our WhatsApp group, our WhatsApp, we will migrate everything to this e-community, right? So any problem you can just ask, and you can see from each of the different region. You have some question, okay? Some question, for example, I want to copy the Slack entities. How am I going to do that? So there will be the question and answering, okay? This is one of my answer yesterday, right? So this answer solution that provide to you guys, okay? So yeah, it's actually platform and also library for you, okay, to see the question that faced by others, not necessarily even faced by you, okay? You can actually, as a library, you can know that, oh, if you want to do this kind of thing, you can avoid this process, okay? Right? So this is the ultimate e-community things. Right, C and WH. The 150 mm thick wall is including plastering, excluding plastering. Do we need to deduct the plastering thickness? Right, so the plastering, okay, let me, for the drawing here, okay, in fact, in our software, this is only for the brick wall without the plastering, okay? If you want to have the plastering, it will be fall under finishes category. If in your real practice, 150 mm, okay, this is 110 mm, right? In fact, the 150 mm is including both plastering. Right? For these training purposes, I just include 150. And then if the you want to create the plastering, you need to go to the wall finishes, and we'll cover tomorrow on the plastering part. Don't worry, right? Meaning to say, you will have the plastering, you will have your own, this is the thickness of the wall, and you have your finishes to wall will be the plastering. Okay, but for the training purpose, I should have put it 150. I didn't separate out 111, 110, and also 20 mm both sides, right? So yeah, Jeffrey, or we just create the account that to so. Jeffrey, I not quite understand on it. Maybe do you mean after you create the account, if you automatically you're able to raise your question? Yeah, yeah. After you create the account, you're able to log in already. Yes. Right? Yeah. So if you have any other question, we test it for today. Our end of our day one training. For tomorrow, how to get the e-certificate. The certificate is actually, today is day 1. Day 2 is TRB. For day 3, you need to do a model. You need to complete a model, and then you have a quiz assessment, right? So, and also sign up to the e-community. Then within 3 months, we will provide you the basic certificate. If the model submission and the quiz is actually passed, we actually have a passing score for the quiz assessment, right? So yeah, stay tuned, and anything you can. The model must be completed on the 3rd day, preferably completed on the 3rd day. But on the 3rd day, I will have a briefing for you guys, and also the Google link for you to put in the model submission. If you can't make it, you might request extension of time from me. Okay, I will note it down. Okay, no worry about that. Okay, everything we can discuss, right? So I will. If nothing else, I will end the session. Okay, the recording I will send to you guys later on. Okay, I will send to you later on once the Zoom is already finished render the video. Right? So yeah, thank you for today's. Yeah, and stay safe. And tomorrow we continue. Yeah, tomorrow we continue for the TRB and also part of the TS. Right? Thank you. Thank you, Yuling. Thank you, Jiaji, Celine. Right. Okay, so stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Bong. Thank you, Zeming. Jeffrey, thank you. Elaine, thanks. Xiaomei, thank you. Siddharth, yes. Chong, yeah, thank you. Angel, yes. Rajesh, okay. Thanks, Helen. Stay safe, yeah. Important thing. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Tong. Thank you, Taexiang. If you are going out to get your food, you have to tap out anything. Get yourself mask on, sanitize properly. Yeah. So we see you tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks, Sharu. No problem. See you, everyone.